Wednesday night edition. We got Kegan Bradley. We got Ryan Waring. We're back.
We're back. Been drinking.
I'm sipping on some red wine. I've kind of put the beer on hold as I've gotten older and decided to sip on red wine a glass a night. So it's actually, yeah. Hey, that's what you do. That's what you do when you get older.
Yeah. That's what they say, keeps the mind sharp.
Oh yeah. A little bit every night is actually good for you.
Blood pressure.
Yeah.
But
antioxidants.
also got a little announcement too. It's Keeger's over here. It's his 31st.
Oh, all right. Mazel tov.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, bud.
It's been a weird year. I almost just want to stay. I'm still 30, but it's all good.
I'm 31 too, so I'm fresh in the 31 a couple months. So
feel good.
I forget I'm 31, just like you.
I don't feel that old. I'm only 30, so.
Reggie Miller, Raheem Mostert, the 31. We're rocking it.
All right. Yeah.
Those are good numbers.
Who else would be up? 31.
Greg Maddux.
Sean Marion, 31.
Who?
With the weird shot?
Sean Marion, Phoenix Sun.
Oh, yeah.
Check that. Yeah.
Greg
Maddux. 31. Yeah.
Greg
Maddux, Reggie Miller, Mostert, I think Marion. There's been,
Mike Piazza.
Yeah.
Jamal Lewis, running back.
Nene.
Yeah.
The freak.
Yeah. Oh, frick. Yeah, there's a John Lester.
Yep.
Cam Chancellor. That sucks.
And that's about it.
Not a lot of 31s out there.
So I want to jump in with this Niners talk, but I want to start with the positives before we jump into the negatives. There's a lot of negatives to break down. Nick Mullins is garbage, but we'll get to that. I want to start with some positives, though, because Brandon Ayuk is on the cusp of history right now. He and Jerry Rice are the only two 49ers, rookie 49ers, to ever catch 10 balls in a game.
Wow. Yeah, and I think we haven't had a big-time emerging wide receiver since Terrell Owens.
You could call Debo emerging last year.
Yeah, but not a true wide receiver. He's kind of a Swiss Army knife. Like, we haven't had a dominant wide receiver that runs the type of routes that we need. Like,
downfield.
Even if we have Debo on our team, we still need a number one wide receiver. You know.
Yeah.
So that's huge. Another interesting fact here. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in his last 6 games, Brandon Ayuk has 100 or more yards or a touchdown in each of his last 7 games.
It's crazy.
That's big time, man. Especially for a rookie stepping in.
And Nick Mullins throwing you the football.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he's only going to get better and better.
He really is.
So he
I saw
now.
That tweet.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. All good. I was going to say that. I saw Des Bryant tweeted that Brandon Ayuk, Julio Jones' little brother.
Julio Jones 2.0. Yeah, he tweeted that it was Brandon Ayuk is Julio Jones' younger brother.
Okay. I like that.
We'll see. Big praise, even though it's from Des Bryant, you still like it.
Got the 11s.
So Brandon Ayuk is on pace to lead the Niners in catches, receiving yards, and touchdown catches. And he is only 267 yards away from Jerry Rice's rookie receiving record of 927 set in 1985. So this guy, dude, we're talking about greatness right now with Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah,
big time.
Yeah. And he's also missed a couple games this year too,
I know, it's crazy. Yeah.
which is insane.
But not for injuries, just for COVID, right?
He missed one from injury, I think. Wasn't he out? I think he was out from injury. It couldn't be COVID though. He's missed like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, he's missed. Yeah, exactly. Which is great. I mean, yeah, Joe Montana throwing Jerry Rice the ball in 85.
Yeah.
And you got Nick Mullins, CJ Beathard, and Garoppolo. And this guy is doing the same thing. Yeah. Cheers
Love
to
that,
you,
dude.
Brandon Ayuk. We were talking about it last week. I was a little upset when Lamb got taken and we passed on him. I wasn't too worried about Jerry Jeudy, but to see what Brandon Ayuk has done, man.
Yeah. Pro Football Focus has him rated as number 2 overall rookie wide receiver. He's like 80.2 or something for the season. And then this Justin Jefferson's number 1. He's an absolute stud. He's at like 89.
Right.
So but they also utilize him. He's not the number 1 on their team. So you got a lot of focus on Adam Thielen. So that helps him out a lot more. Whereas teams scheme against Ayuk because that's all we have going down the field. Debo obviously helps with sweeps and with short passes, but teams game plan to shut this guy down 5 yards and out.
Yeah. Making plays.
It's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 10 catches for 119. That's the bright spot. There's another bright spot, rookie guard Colton McKivitz. He did not allow a single pressure, according to Pro Football Focus. It seems that everybody was allowing pressures. Nick Mullins had not a lot of time to throw. Chase Young was just fucking dominant. Wasn't a great game.
Is a piece of shit.
Who is?
Mike McGlinchey.
Yeah, it's just a mess. I mean, you can't really blame Nick Mullins. Didn't have a lot of time to throw. He was pressured tons, and then you got Debo going out on the first snap of the game. From there, I mean, the defense played pretty well. It's just Nick Mullins threw a costly pick, had a costly fumble, and when Chase Young is breathing down your throat, like, not a lot you can do.
And you can't expect to win the game when you turn the ball over 4 times. I think Nick Mullins had 2, an interception and a fumble, and then Jeff Wilson had a fumble, and I believe Mostert had the other fumble, or was it
Mostert fumble,
or was it Jeff Wilson both times? I think there was another fumble in there.
Well.
Yeah, so
I mean the defense played up their end of the bargain.
Yeah.
I mean they kept us in all game, even to the last 3 minutes, is because of the defense to give us a shot.
Protect the freaking football, man. Like, you got to be preaching that every freaking game. Between the being prepared before games, between giving up the football, because I think we're like +8 or +9 on the year at this point. Take care of the football, limit turnovers, and what was the other thing I was going to say? I forget. But we're not taking care of the football. So every single time we're in the game because of the defense, we just give it up in key moments too. And it just gets old. If you're a Niners fan, you feel us because it has been a brutal. Oh, sorry. So that was number 1. Number 2 has got to be injuries. I don't know what our training staff is doing. We got to fire every single person on there, because I get it. It's a COVID year, but this is absurd. I think we have 12, 15 more injuries than any other team. I think we have like 26 people or 30 people on IR or out for the season, throughout the year. And then I think it was like 9 or 10 that had been placed on IR.
And they come back from injury, and then they get injured the same game they come back with the same injury.
Yeah.
The list is so long. It is incredibly long.
How many high ankle sprains do I have to hear about our team? High ankle sprain, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of injuries, but
I'm so sick of it, dude. It wraps up 2020 perfectly, because that's what the year's been all about. The whole year.
Yeah. When you see Kittle and Garoppolo up in the stands watching the game, it's just
in Arizona. I mean, it's just the weirdest times.
And then in game, I think it was game 2 or game 3, where Jimmy G goes down, and then the very next play, Solomon Thomas and Bosa go down. and Mostert, I think, went down. It was like 4 or 5 key season-ending injuries, like right away. And you're like, okay, shit, this is not going to be a good year.
Oh, yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough. Washington held us to 4.8 yards, not per carry, not per pass, per play. 4.8 yards per play.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, come on. Like, slap that on the board. Like, if you're Kyle Shanahan and circle him, like, guys, what the fuck?
Yeah. You're not playing some dominant defense that's been dominant all year at all.
They're a pretty good defense, though.
Their D line is
They've
good.
been playing defense. They've been playing team stuff, especially right now. Ron Rivera has that team geared up. So, I respect the defense, but we can't even put up what did we put up? We can't even put up more than a touchdown. What did we get, like a touchdown or something?
Yeah.
It's all blur at this point, dude. It's all meshed into one shitty season.
It really is. Can't even keep track.
Yeah. So I wanted to kind of go back to a quarterback from the 80s. He played for the Buccaneers. He had 2 really bad seasons because his offensive line sucked. And then I want to go to another guy from this year who's played a couple years with his team. His offensive line has sucked. Can you guess who I'm talking about? One guy was Steve Young with the Buccaneers. The other guy is Carson Wentz with the Eagles. Now, I don't know. Steve Young was like 28, 29, 30 when he got to the Niners and became a starter. So Carson Wentz is 27. That poses a question.
He was terrible in those early years.
If he comes to the Niners, if Carson Wentz comes to the Niners, is there hope that he can get better and change? Or Matt Stafford?
100%.
But I'm focusing
100%.
on Carson Wentz, a guy that is definitely looking for a new start. And I look at Steve Young, who was looking for a new start. I could see Carson Wentz and Jimmy Garoppolo battling it out. And I could see a resurrection for Carson Wentz with the Niners.
I think that's a perfect comparison. I'd never even thought about that, but I think you hit the nail right on the head. Carson Wentz is one of those players where, up until this year, we saw a little bit of slight decline last year, but this is still a young quarterback with a lot of skill sets. I think when you get into that headspace, you saw it time and time again with Alex Smith. So I think talented quarterbacks can rejuvenate their career. They do it all the time.
Yeah.
And where else would be better with a scheme like Kyle Shanahan and the smarts of Kyle Shanahan? They're dealing with Doug Peterson, whoever their offensive coordinator is right now. So you put him in a good situation with us and our weapons where he really doesn't have to rely on anything except making right decisions in our scheme. And
he's got a big arm.
I honestly like that move. Me personally, I think he's got the tools.
But from what I'm hearing, he's $40 million under contract next year. So it's like impossible for anybody to trade for him. I don't see Carson Wentz saying, "Oh, I'll take a pay cut." Maybe,
because like everyone's
saying he's like impossible to trade.
Everyone's clowning on him. Jalen Hurts looks good. He's not getting a starting rollback. I don't see it, at least.
Yeah, pay him $40 million on the bench, or
I don't know. I think they just cut their losses at this point.
They're saying because the NBA does it a lot, they'll trade a star with a draft pick.
Yeah,
because you're taking on so much money. That could be a Carson Wentz situation. Like, we'll give you Carson Wentz and a second-round pick with Carson Wentz.
That makes sense.
Just to get him off the books.
Or just
we'll see.
A Garoppolo trade.
Interesting. Wow.
Matt Stafford, from what I heard today, definitely gone. He's not going to be there next year. They've already made up their mind. From reports I
like that
today.
move too.
My big thing.
Good points. There's not even. Oh, you're good. Go ahead.
Yeah, my big thing is we've never got a guy who grew up a Niners fan. Have you noticed that? Josh Allen grew up a Niners fan. Tom Brady grew up a Niners fan. Aaron Rodgers grew up a Niners fan. Why can't we get these guys that grew up rooting for the team in the Bay Area? Why do we never get those guys?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is pretty much the main one
or Tom Brady is
Tom Brady,
Josh Allen. I don't know if Tom Brady was on a radar.
No, right.
It depends on when he was drafted. I'm not sure about that situation, but certainly Aaron Rodgers was for the taking, and we missed that one.
Yeah.
But It's an interesting coincidence, but I don't think teams think about that when they're
No.
drafting players.
Yeah,
Fun
you're
story.
It is a fun story.
right.
Like, is this guy a Niners fan? Is he a Niners? He grew up a Niners fan? All right. I think that's a recipe.
We'll get him on the spot.
So
Yeah.
Go ahead. My bad.
No, I mean, just wrapping up the Niners. It's obviously season's over.
But I think there's a lot of promise.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be shitty for year on, year out. We have too many good players. Bosa will be back. We still have Shanahan. I don't know with Jimmy. I still think we should keep him around and bring somebody in to compete with him, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Our guy that we go watch the Niners games at his house, he keeps bringing up Sam Darnold. I'd be fine to bring him in.
He likes Sam Darnold a lot.
We got to bring in somebody that can bring some competition.
Yeah, I like that. I don't really necessarily think it's all out done with Jimmy G, but let's keep him. It makes sense on paper to keep him, but let's draft a quarterback or trade for a quarterback, have a little competition. They're talking about cleaning house with our backups just because of what we've seen. I've seen countless articles saying clean house because we know what we have with CJ and Nick, and none of them can fill the role.
No, that ain't happening.
So
No.
It's exciting for next year, no doubt. If you're a Niners fan, it's not over. Keep your hope. Those that talk shit about Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are just an informed Niners fan. They're doing the right thing. They're putting pieces in place, and you see the quick turnaround if you're a diehard Niners fan. You see it. If you watch every single game intently like we do, you see that it's night and day from Tom Sula, from Chip Kelly, and from any other coaches. I mean, you don't even hear commentators talk bad about Kyle Shanahan. I mean, we have the pieces in place. We just need to have health, and we need to hopefully have the right quarterback. You know?
I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see the offseason. I guess there's 29 Niners that are going to be either restricted or unrestricted free agents.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for those.
Sherman's come out and said that's going to be a miracle. Like, we're not getting Sherman back. It's going to be some changes for sure. I hope we keep Trent Williams, pay that guy. He's an absolute animal.
Yeah.
Knocking out these guys left and right. Like,
especially if there's quarterback questions, you need that guy.
You got to have our line tight. Draft a lineman. I'm fine with going first round lineman. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I mean, McGlinchey, I don't know if we're going to pay him. I really don't. I don't know. We might pick up his 5th year, but I don't think he's getting a contract extension
unless he shows out next year.
They'll give him one more year to try. They'll pick up the 5th year, and that's it. I don't think he's getting an extension this summer.
Wow.
And as a Notre Dame fan, a California kid, Ian Book, he doesn't get a lot of praise, but he's a big kid. He's a great quarterback.
He's fast too, dude.
He's fast. That's a great guy to bring in too.
Yeah. No, we definitely need to draft somebody at some point,
especially with the quarterbacks in our
bring
division.
In somebody, draft somebody. We got to figure that out. Yeah, it has to be done. And from what I've heard, Kyle Shanahan has to limit his playbook for Jimmy. Like, he literally has to change his playbook for Jimmy, and I don't want to see that. I want to know what his full. Kyle Shanahan mind.
Let's open it up.
Let's open it up. Yeah.
We got Brandon Ayuk. We got a downfield threat now. Let's go.
Yeah.
And George Kittle, if he stays healthy all year next year, which I don't see any doubt there.
There's weapons for these quarterbacks.
Yeah. No, let's open it up. Let's get a quarterback that can do everything. And maybe it is Jimmy. Maybe he does develop the deep ball and can make those plays. But if not, I'm okay closing that chapter.
Yeah. For sure. We will see.
We will see.
We will see. First game I want to discuss are the Chargers at the Raiders. Vegas has Vegas favored by 3. The Raiders have a new defensive coordinator. They're missing 4 starters this week, including a big one, Jonathan Abram. Josh Jacobs is questionable. Henry Ruggs is questionable. Las Vegas has the 25th overall defense, giving up 268 or 256 in the air. And the Chargers can air it out, but they might be missing Keenan Allen or Austin Eckler.
Don't say Keenan Allen. got him in my semifinal. That's tomorrow, right? I mean, did he practice today?
That's tomorrow. They did not. Limited fashion. Both those guys practiced in limited fashion today.
They'll be there.
I have the Chargers just because Las Vegas, their defense is crap. with missing so many starters, I just don't see them winning this game. You're going to need Abram out there. He's kind of the heart and soul of that secondary. I have the Chargers winning this one 28-16.
Okay. I like Vegas in this one. Mostly because they've lost 3 or 4, but what I read today is that they control their own destiny. As long as they win out, they're in the playoffs. I don't know. The Raiders I've been so up and down on the Raiders. Like I used to bet a lot of money on them in the beginning of the season because they were hot, and then all of a sudden I just don't know what happened.
Stalled out.
I don't know if, like you said, it's the defense just giving up points, but what happened? Josh Jacobs was dominant. Now he's just quiet. I mean, he really
He's
is
been
quiet.
battling injuries too.
But I think they get it back on. The Chargers are fun. Good story. I don't know. I like Vegas in this one. I don't know what to say about the Chargers.
All right. Yeah.
Good story.
Yeah. So the Raiders, 2 weeks ago they barely beat the Jets. They made that a competitive football game.
Last second.
Yeah, last ditch effort. Hail Mary in the end zone, and then they just totally get whooped by the Colts. When it's like that's the real test, right? Because they could run into the Colts potentially in the playoffs. Like, let's see what type of team you are, and then they come up and they lose. Chargers on the flip side, they play the Falcons real tough in a game where I thought the Falcons were rolling, and I knew the Chargers were going to bounce back from being shut out, but they come up and they muster up a win, right? So this is a toss-up. I would even call it, and I think the Vegas, depending on the money that's being put on the game, I would call it a pick'em game almost. I think that it a little bit leans towards the Raiders because of what Kegan alluded to, and that's that they have stuff to play for, right? The Raiders, they're trying to create a new identity in Las Vegas, in Oakland. Ever since the 2000s, right? And since the 80s, they haven't really had a winning organization. I think it was like I don't even know. I think it was like from 2002 until like 2015 or something that they finally made the playoffs. So they've been weak, ever since Al. What's the owner's name again?
Al Davis.
Al Davis. Yeah. So ever since him, I think they're really trying to focus on them turning the identity around. And what's a better time than being in Vegas, right? And this is the first year, and they want to show everyone, even though they decide not to have fans in the field. Let's put them on national TV. Let's have a playoff team. So I think that they have a lot more to play for, and I'm going to pick Vegas on this one, just because I think Derek Carr has a lot more to prove than Justin Herbert. And going into LA, there's not a lot of home field advantage there. So prove me wrong, Vegas. But I'm gonna pick them to win this game against the Chargers, and hopefully Josh Jacobs can play because I think that's a huge.
Yeah,
thank you.
Matches on the year.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs, 100.
Yep.
There's some big time receivers, man. I love watching these guys.
Yeah.
They literally just snatch it out of the air, man.
And soon Ayuk.
And they're not even like these. I think we're so used to, like, when we were kids, we see these big receivers.
And Randy Moss.
Just these big guys that go down. Now it's like
Megatron.
The little guy, that just gets open and snags everything.
Yeah. And
Collins maybe 6 foot, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not tall at all. They dominate.
I'd be very, very shocked if the Raiders lost this game, if they found a way to lose, because this is a game that they need to win. So if they can't win this game, they don't deserve to be in the playoffs. My point.
Mm-hmm.
Show them what you got, John Gruden.
True. Buffalo Bills at the Denver Broncos. The Bills are favored by 6.5.
Yeah.
Buffalo's actually given up 25 points a game. The defense hasn't been playing great. Denver's given up 27 a game. Alarming numbers from defenses that are, I guess, supposed to be playing better. Drew Lock looked locked in last week. He had a great game, 4 touchdowns. Josh Allen, though, man, he's just rocking and rolling right now. And they're averaging 375 $375 a game, and Cole Beasley just looks like comeback player of the year in the NFL for sure. I don't see how the Bills lose this game. I think it'll be a close game just because both defenses are not that great. I have the Bills winning 30-21.
Wow, high scoring.
30-21. I'm pretty close. I got Buffalo, no doubt, winning this game. I mean, the Broncos had a nice little win over the Panthers last week.
Yeah. Panthers.
They're falling apart. The
And
Panthers are falling apart.
Or COVID and injuries.
Drew Lock likes to dance after he makes a first down. Just not impressed.
We live in Denver, everyone, so we get to hear it all the time.
Yeah, if you're driving down Colorado,
not a big fan of the Broncos.
You'll see a Drew Lock banner by Colorado and Colfax. There's like a big Drew. Yeah.
No thanks.
No,
I'm not impressed.
So to follow up what he said, I mean, Buffalo, I disagree with you, Andrew. I think these are both really decent defenses. So it'll be kind of nice to see that defensive battle. But again, I think when you have two good defenses, it comes up to the quarterback play. And I think Josh Allen is on a roll coming and beating the Steelers that were on a roll. I mean, they had lost one previously, but, they gave them their second loss. And I think this Buffalo Bills team is finally being coached correctly. And I think that's a dangerous combination when you get so much talent coached the right way like the Bills have. I think they're a dangerous team, and I think that they're a force to be reckoned with. And I think that Denver is just a little speed bump in the way. And I don't think Denver's offense has nearly the firepower. I think that they're not a very well coached team, Denver. You can get away with it against the Panthers. You can't get away with it against the Bills. So I have the Buffalo Bills winning convincingly. If I was a betting man, the spread's 6 points. I would imagine that they would win by 2 touchdowns.
I like the spread a lot in this game.
Yeah, me too.
I'm kind of wondering why it's only 6. Is there something we're missing?
Well, Denver gets 3 for being at home, so that's 9. But maybe there's Denver fans love to bet.
There's something missing here. Buffalo is so hot. I don't know.
I don't get it either. Yeah. Did you make your pick, Kegan?
I got Buffalo 28-24. And
okay.
It's a Saturday game this weekend. I saw that.
Yeah. Carolina Panthers at the Green Bay Packers. This line should probably be a little bigger too. Packers favored by 8.5. Carolina has lost 7 straight games. Brian Hughes, this one's for you. You said they were still in it. No, they're not. They are out of it. McCaffrey is not going to play this year. He is done. So any hope that Brian Hughes has, I'm here to vanquish it. That is done. There's no McCaffrey, dude. It's over. So
you think he's calling the year?
I think they have to. I mean, all that money invested, like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Why trot him when Mike Davis is still playing great too?
I mean, Kittle is coming back this year, and you could arguably say he's just as valuable to us as Christian McCaffrey is to the Panthers. So I don't know the rhyme or reason. I know Christian McCaffrey's a gamer, so it's going to have to take the powers above to keep him off the field because he's going to play if he can go.
Well, these guys got a lot of incentive money too. Hit so many yards, touchdowns, they get paid.
Right.
So, I mean, like you said, they're gamers. They want to play football.
Yeah, there's other factors.
You'd like to not see George Kittle come back, of course.
Yeah.
It'd be devastating if he gets hurt for next year. But at the same time, I get it, man.
Yeah.
You're going to play football. It's what we're paying you to do.
Mm-hmm.
They love it, and they love that money.
Yeah. So
we'll see. I am on the same track. I got him winning 35-17.
35-17. Okay. I have Green Bay winning 42-24 and Aaron Rodgers 39 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. It's just remarkable what kind of season he's putting together right now. 11 more touchdowns and he'll be the 4th guy ever to have 50 or more touchdowns in a season, quarterback. So just crazy what kind of season he's putting together.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're not surprised.
Matt
LaFleur.
It's French. Remember how much drama there was between those two guys, though?
Yeah.
I mean, it's gone now.
Yeah, he would call a timeout or something like that because he didn't think Aaron Rodgers was going to get the ball off. And he's like, bro, I know my cadence. Like, I'll snap the ball, dude. You know what I mean? Make timeouts for me. But now I think that they're in a good sync with each other. And Green Bay, in my opinion, is the best team in the NFC right now, just the most complete team. Mm-hmm. And Aaron Rodgers I think he's going for his second Super Bowl. You know, he thinks this is the year. And why wouldn't it be? Against the Carolina Panthers, who have been up and down this year and mostly down. The quarterback, I mean, Teddy Bridgewater does not look good at all. They used to take advantage of Christian McCaffrey. You know, that's no longer a factor. I think they have a lot of creativity with what's his name, number 10, Samuel.
Samuel. Curtis Samuel.
He's kind of like a skinnier Debo, just the way that they utilize him, which is cool. He's kind of a Swiss Army knife as well. So he's fun to be on the field. DJ Moore, he's a boomer bust. But in this game, Green Bay is a complete package. So this is actually my lock of the week at home in Lambeau. Only 8.5 points. I think they win this easily. I don't have a prediction like you guys, but Green Bay is going to get it done at home, and I think they're just building their momentum before the playoffs. They're going to be a very, very scary team, so watch out for the Packers. Not a fan of the Cheeseheads. Don't like it, but it's the reality.
Yeah.
Packers are here. They're going to win. In my opinion, they're going to win the Super Bowl this year.
That's what
I mean,
what
do you think, Andrew? I mean, I feel like it's the same story as last year. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like the Packers always come into the playoffs hot, but their defense is always suspect.
They were sus. I never had that opinion about them last year. There's some about them this year. They're playing different. They are. Last year was what? Their first year with Matt LaFleur?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This year, you can just tell, like, Aaron Rodgers is having fun playing football. And that's scary for the rest of the league. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the defense. The defense is good enough. When Aaron Rodgers is locked in like this, I haven't seen it since his Super Bowl year, where he's been so in sync with his team, where the running game and they're well balanced. I haven't seen it in years. Last year, yes, but I think everyone was more focused on the Niners. I mean, Jesus, we went 9-0, 8-0, 9-0 before we had our first loss. It was always us and Baltimore or the Chiefs, and the Chiefs ended up obviously getting it. But this year with the Saints and their mediocre quarterback play, can you name anyone else? I mean, the Seahawks and their failing defense, It's either going to be the Packers or the Chiefs. I think the Bills are still a couple years out.
Yeah,
maybe the Rams.
I still think
no, that's a good point. I like the Rams. Their defense is looking real nice. So I think maybe the Rams, but it is very, very scary when you put this guy, Aaron Rodgers, who is, arguably in the prime of his career right now, who knows that Father Time's going to be catching up with him soon. He's going to seize the opportunity. He only has one on his belt. It's scary, man. I think the Packers.
I mean, we'll see. I've been on that hype train before.
I'm not hyped.
Well, where you think they're like this dominant team, and then all of a sudden.
Sure.
Well, let's try to think last time they had home field advantage. It's been a while. 2016, they kind of made a run. They had to go on the road to Dallas to upset them. Last year, they had to come to San Francisco. They got beat. 2010, they actually had a tight end, James Jones. They actually had a defense. They got Robert Tonyan now, a tight end. They got 2 running backs. Jamal Williams looks better and better every week. So I think having that tight end, Jimmy Graham tried to step in, didn't work. Yeah. There really hasn't been a guy since James Jones. So this might be having that tight end as a security blanket might be the key.
Well, James Jones was a receiver though.
Yeah, you're right. But he was a big
I'd say since Jimmy Graham. Graham, I mean,
did he do that much?
But he didn't do that much. So yeah, I don't remember the last time they really had a big time tight end. And I think Tonyan Tanyan's a young tight end who's filled that role, and he looks nice. He looks real nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if MVS can stay healthy, he stretches that field. It's dangerous, man.
Lazard.
And I'm not. And this is coming from someone who's not a fan of the Packers. I'm just saying what I see, because we've played most of the teams in the NFC, and we certainly watch all the teams. I'm like, this team looks better. They just do, in my opinion. But the Rams defense is for real. It's just whenever you're going in the playoffs, you look at quarterback matchups, and I don't know about Goff in the big moments, man. They had that one run against the Patriots, and you saw what we did in the Super Bowl.
I will tell you that the Packers will kill you on the line, though. I don't know what their against the spread is, but I've had money on them, and they do not cover. I don't know if they just start running the ball or they let the Eagles come back in last minutes, but I've taken the Packers on these spreads, and it's just I've taken some losses for it. I mean, they win the game. That's all they care about, and I get it. But as a betting man, they've been pissing me off.
Lock of the week to win, questionable on the spread.
Very questionable.
49ers at Cowboys. This is
Woo!
Yep, that little check mark. That's a rivalry ding right there. Niners are favored
by
3. Jeff Wilson, he can help run the ball and control the clock. I think that's the goal against a really bad defense. Look for Kendrick Bourne to be relied on quite heavily too, even in fantasy, if that's the guy you need. Kendrick Bourne, which I've always been a big fan on Instagram and everything. He's just, he had some plays a couple weeks ago where he couldn't get the ball over the goal line. Like he has struggled, but
and they showed the replay. It really wasn't his fault on that goal line when it was thrown behind him. Where he stopped, pretty much stop, and then he had to turn. No, Kendrick Bourne, I think, could be a big play receiver for a lot of other teams. Honestly, I mean, he's made big plays for us, but he's got drop issues. But I don't know. I like Kendrick Bourne a lot. I still see him as a fourth wide receiver in our system, but I think he could thrive in another team. I really do.
Zeke is banged up.
We just haven't had the quarterback for Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah, exactly. Zeke is banged up.
What are the Cowboys up to? Is Dalton still around?
Yeah, he went to Cincinnati and pulled out the revenge game last week. He's still doing his thing.
What's the line on this one? I didn't write it down because I'm so bummed out on the Nines right now.
It's a 3-point spread in favor of the Niners.
The line is -3 for the Niners. Earlier in the week, it was -3 for the Cowboys.
We've been favored for 3 straight weeks. We were favored over the Bills.
We got a lot of Niners fans that like the bet.
Something. I don't know. I think it's a pick'em game. Of course, I'm picking the Niners. Like you're saying, I mean, it would be nice to see Kendrick Bourne get out there. We got anybody coming back?
Plus, I could just see us win. I mean, we got nothing on the line. We win.
Yeah. Exactly.
Even though we could use the draft pick position.
So. Yeah, like you alluded to earlier, we watched the game at this guy. His name's Cliff. He's actually my dad's best friend. He's in his 50s. Been a diehard Niners fan. Got to watch the golden years, and he's usually pretty spot on with his opinions. And he's like, "Hey man, I hate this. Like if we're not a good team, we're not going to win the Super Bowl. Just freaking tanked, especially if we don't have our quarterback."
Yeah.
Now I know that that's not how our players think because they want to win every game. But interesting take, I mean, at this point we can win out, and maybe if the cards fall right, maybe it's still a long shot to make the playoffs. Statistically, it's still possible. I think it's like a 9% chance or something like that. But they're going to be a competitive team no matter what. But you would rather see, when the year's over, you'd rather see that better draft pick so that we can build even more on what we've built. But yeah, in this game, I honestly do think that we come out and we swing and we win this game, just because I know that that's the Niners DNA and that's our MO. I mean, the horrible season that we had like 2 or 3 years ago where we had, Beathard and then Nick Mullins and then at the end, Jimmy G, we won like the last 6 games straight. So that's just what we do. We finish the season strong. So it may be beneficial for for the team chemistry and for our momentum going in the offseason. But as far as the pick and thinking, strategy, it would be beneficial to lose this game. But I do think we win. I think we finally just stick to the running game. It's kind of pick your poison against this Cowboys defense where you can kind of have your way with them. Yeah. And where there's really not a whole lot of pressure, I think that finally we'll start to see some decent quarterback play because, as you know, in years past, besides Jimmy G, these backup quarterbacks, when there's really nothing to play for, they play freaking great.
Yeah.
They play lights out.
Do you think we go in Beathard?
No, they already announced it. They already announced
okay.
it. Nick Mullins is going to be the starter.
I don't know why. I like when he came in and he was great.
Me too.
And at this point,
who cares?
Who cares?
See what you got in Beathard at this point.
Who cares?
I'm tired of looking
now.
At
now you're trying to see. We're not keeping both of these players on our team. So now we're trying to see which one's going to stay on the roster and why just limit it to Nick Mullins when we know what we have.
Yeah.
CJ, let's see his development.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Give him a last shot.
Yeah. I got the Niners winning 26-16. I'm going to stick with the Niners. Zeke is just having a horrendous season. Ball security is job security. Leads the league in lost fumbles. So it might continue this week. So we will see. Yeah. I kind of hope they lose too, just on the lowdown, the Niners.
Yeah.
Seahawks at the football team. Seahawks are favored by 5.5. Washington has the fourth best defense in the NFL, but the Seahawks are dropping 388 yards per game of total offense. Washington, I think, can duplicate what the Giants did. They're going to use that as the blueprint to get to Russell Wilson. And we might see Rashad Penny kind of getting in the mix, which is kind of exciting. The Seahawks are favored by 5.5. I think it's going to be a close game. Alex Smith, is he going to lose that other leg too? I heard that. Is he going to be a paraplegic?
If you're his wife, I don't know how you keep sending him out there. I'd be like, get your ass home, babe. You are going to play catch with our kids when they grow up. You're not going to roll onto the lawn and try to help them out.
Those game checks are nice. Game checks.
That's true.
I don't like this game at all. I just don't know who to pick. I looked at it for a while, and it's like 5.5. 5.5. Because Seattle can throw it on. They have.
But they always play bad against lesser teams, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They surprise you. They made it close with the Eagles. There's a couple of ones in there. I mean, I think they made it close last week.
Washington has a lot to play for.
They do. The division.
Yeah. Seattle, I think
they're winning the division right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't touch $1 on this game if I was betting it. I would not touch not even $1.
That's why I chose to go with
I got 21-15 Seattle because
okay.
Yeah.
I have Washington winning 24-23 just because the Giants played well and Washington has a great defense. So they can definitely play well against them too in Washington. I just think Russell Wilson doesn't play well at the end of seasons. I mean, he's a great starter at the beginning of seasons. He kind of just always has tailed off.
Yeah, they were talking MVP, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
No one speaks of that anymore.
And then he just starts throwing interceptions. But, yeah, I mean, he definitely rallied his team last week. Who'd they play last week? They played the Jets. So, in the beginning, it was looking sus for the first quarter or quarter and a half. And then they just went off.
Did they end up covering 13.5?
It was 40-3. So the thing with the Seahawks is they can just run the score up real quick, against any team. So I'm really not too scared about the Washington Redskins. I know they have a lot of momentum. I think their D line can be scary, but with Russell Wilson, what I've learned, yes, he does tail off towards the end of the year, but he doesn't make the same mistakes twice very often. In the last couple of weeks, he's been knocked around. He hasn't been looked good in the pocket. And I think that's because he got in his comfort zone. And I think he kind of started off. If he threw that ball, wasn't terrible to DK, but the guy made a incredible play to intercept it in the end zone. But I think against this Washington team, I think he's watching film, and I think the coaches are coaching him out very well. And I think just the savvy of him, he's not going to take a team like the Washington Redskins that are on fire right now lightly. And I think he proves the point. So I would be okay betting the spread. And I think that Seahawks win big because I think that they put a lot of weight on this game and they play with the chip on their shoulder. And I hate the fucking Seahawks. Like, everyone knows it. I think all three of us hate the Seahawks, but I'm also a realist. And when we're doing the pick'ems, I set that aside. And I think that the Seahawks, no matter what in this game, they're going to win. I don't see any scenario where the Redskins win. And maybe I'm wrong. I mean, Andrew, you've proved me wrong multiple times this year. So we'll see. But my honest opinion, educated opinion, I think that Seahawks are going to win this one big.
Yeah, I said last week what did I say? The water would have to part for the Eagles to win.
and they parted.
They parted. It's the NFL. Who knows what can happen any given Sunday?
Yeah.
I thought that was my lock of the week. I was telling everybody, I'm like, pick New Orleans over the Eagles. Pick New Orleans over the Eagles. The rookie
was that your
starter
5 point
in the
from
dome.
last year or last week? Was that your 5 point?
Probably. I don't remember. I'm not doing well. So
because we're also in a pick'ems league. And last year I won twice. I'm certainly with your locks of the week. I mean, is there even such thing anymore? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I try to think so, but no, my bank account says different.
Yeah.
Chicago Bears at the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are favored by 3. The Bears have lost 7 straight. They were 5-1 at one point. And
they won last week. They won last week.
They did win last week.
Okay. Oh, you're right. So they have lost
They won
6 of 7.
Yeah.
So they've lost 6.
Someone called 6 of the last 7.
6 of the last 7.
Yeah.
And 4 games ago, they actually lost to the Vikings in a close one, 13-19. I actually think this is a revenge game, and Minnesota's defense is actually struggling really bad right now. It's the offense that's holding that team up right now for sure. They're the 22nd overall defense. I think this is a revenge game for the Bears. Mitch Trubisky, I mean, they got to just feel like crap because their season is basically this is it. This is it. Either you win or you go home. Pretty much for both teams.
Like us last week.
They're both 6-7. I don't know. They'll both be 1 game out of the playoffs. I wouldn't say go home yet.
It's close. We're getting down to the wire, but this is
win or go home for the Vikings though.
The Vikings are 6-7.
It doesn't matter though. Who's in their division right now?
Green Bay and the Bears.
Green Bay, the Bears.
There's 3 extra.
The Lions. There's an extra. Yeah, there's an extra playoff.
The Cardinals have the other wild card right now, and I forget their record.
So Green Bay is going to take that division, and they're fighting for wild card. They're only a game ahead of us. So
Vikings, Bears, Cardinals.
If they lose this game, how do they make the playoffs?
You
have Tampa Bay, and then you have the Cardinals.
It's what I know. The last spots either Cardinals, Vikings, or Bears at this point,
or the Niners.
No, the Niners aren't even in the hunt anymore. They've completely taken them off that graphic.
They took them off the graphic because it's like 9%. But
yeah, exactly.
I'm fine with that.
I think it's a revenge game for the Bears. I actually am gonna pick. This is like another game where I'm just fuck it. I'm picking the Bears 27-20.
Interesting.
I like Vikings -3. Is our line. We got 33-16. I think the Bears kind of had a fluke win last week. Like you said, 6-7. They're not the real deal. Maybe, I don't know. Is it in Chicago?
Yep. Oh no, it's in Minnesota.
It's in Minnesota.
Skull, baby.
And they did smash the Bears the first time they played. I don't know. I do like the Vikings. 3 is a close line. Vegas sees it's a close game. Yeah, I think we all see it as it could be a defining game of the season.
Yeah.
And I think the Vikings are the only ones that take it.
Yeah, they're both technically in the hunt. I'm also going Minnesota. We have one of these games where it's great defense versus a great offense. You know, they say defense wins championships, but Bears ain't winning the championship, so I'm going with the great offense.
Pick the better quarterback.
I think they stick to the run on this one and open up the pass. You got 2 great wide receivers, and you got arguably the best back in the league in Dalvin Cook. And I do kind of think that the game was a fluke last week with the Bears. Bears do this countless times. You know, they'll show out, and then the next game they'll look like shit. So I'm calling them looking like shit, especially in Minnesota. You know, Minnesota is a prideful, state, and I think that this is a prideful team. And when their backs are against the wall, you saw them deal with adversity in the beginning of the year, losing 4 straight or something like that, 5 straight, and then they went on a tear and lost a couple in the mix. I think this is a bounce back game. You know, I'd be a little bit more concerned if they were coming off a win, but I really like teams coming off losses that have talent like that. So I'm picking Minnesota, and I think that they cover the spread. I think they win by 10 points in this game.
All right.
Minnesota.
All right. Okay.
See, Andrew, we got a couple differs with you, man.
A couple
Right.
what?
You've been hot. Everybody's
Oh.
been talking on Sunday, like Andrew called the Browns.
You've been all over the internet, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, everyone's talking.
Everywhere I look on Twitter, it's just your pick.
I've also had a lot of
You've been
really
picking some
bad
good games,
picks.
man. I
Oh,
give you the
yeah.
upsets. I do give you some of
The
these
upsets are spot on.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know if this is a big upset. This is who knows. The Bears
No,
defense is
3, I
not
guess,
bad.
but-
The Bears defense is not bad. They're not. They're always going to have
Certainly
a good
not an
defense.
upset pick.
Right.
Certainly not an upset. I'm just saying you've been on point this year with some of your picks. I just think that this one's going to go our way.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. The
Goal,
Patriots-
baby.
The Patriots at the Dolphins. They are entering the danger zone. Brr, brr, brr. Anytime the Patriots play the Dolphins at the end of the year, it's trouble. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a Kenyon Drake lateral, or it was lateral to him and Gronkowski's like diving to make the tackle. That shit was crazy a couple years ago. Patriots have played well against rookie quarterbacks, though. Bill Belichick does have great game plans against rookie quarterbacks. They did actually play him week 1. Let's go all the way back to week 1. Cam Newton looked like, the Superman, the MVP. Everybody's like, oh my God. That was a long time ago. He has looked like shit since. And he's actually, I guess, going to be the starter, is what Bill Belichick said. They're not going to go with Stidham. Stidham, I feel bad for Stidham. I guess Stidham got put in that
think
game.
I heard somewhere where they're like, yeah, well, we have a $1 million quarterback. So
That's what Belichick said when they were questioning. Like, we have a $1 million quarterback. Once again, he's paid $1 million.
And he's the GM too. That's crazy.
He gave it to him.
Yeah. Hey, Craig Call, if you're watching this, which I'm going to personally send you this link. Cam Newton's trash, dude. Cam Newton is trash. This guy, he's a big time Patriots fan, and he has Cam Newton's jersey and everything, and he wants to make all the excuses in the world, but he's like, that's just our DNA, a running team. Yeah. You think Bill Belichick plays to his strengths? Yeah, I think so. If you had a quarterback, you're going to put the ball in his hands. And they try to do everything but put the ball in this guy's hands, unless he's running the ball.
You got the two, because the Miami coach is old Pat
Flores. Yeah.
Disciple.
Yeah.
I like that. He's beaten Bill. I mean, this matchup's always fun. I'm excited to watch this one for sure. I think it's going to be close. I have it at 24-21. Miami's -2 is what I saw last on the line. I've been betting Miami a lot. I wouldn't bet this game just because it's Miami Pats. Tula, what do you guys think of Tula?
Tua.
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 Tunga Vailoa.
What do you guys think of Tua?
I think he's got promise.
I think he's
But
got
the
promise.
offense is kind of stagnant a little bit with him. You saw him open it up last week, though, so that gave me a lot of hope for
He
the
likes
future.
that tight end.
He loves Gesicki,
Gesicki.
and him and Grant got something going on. And
Devontae Parker kind of fell apart last week.
Devontae Parker is on. Yeah, he got hurt early in the game.
Both those guys are
thrown
in
out.
limbo. Yeah, both those guys are in limbo. Gesicki and Devontae Parker might not play.
Is Preston back yet?
I don't know.
CSU?
Preston Wilson.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Rams.
I don't know,
Preston
but I know
Williams.
Gesicki and Parker
Wilson.
are questionable going into this game, so that's something to watch out for. I have the Dolphins winning 21-17.
Yeah.
And I definitely think Stidham is going to get thrown back in there.
Okay.
It's
What do you
I got 24-21. You ready to put it out there?
Fins?
Fin up.
Fins up, baby. You know what? We're going terrible offense versus terrible offense. Good defense versus good defense.
Don't put your money on it.
And I think the Dolphins have their number, okay? I think Tua is going to outplay Cam, not by much, but by a little bit this week. And so I think that the Dolphins squeak by a win. I think it's going to be close, just like you said. But I agree with all of you guys. Dolphins win, and especially at home, you know. In this time of season, this type of year, if it was in Gillette, I probably would pick the Patriots. But in Miami, I think Dolphins, they rally against their young quarterback, and I think they squeak a win.
Have you noticed Cam Newton's delivery this year? It's like bullet passes that
Throwing motion
down. Yeah.
It's like a tomahawk.
And
He
ball
throws it above his head. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't work.
It's
dude.
interesting motion, dude. I don't know. I've seen this guy the last 3 years he's been playing. It's like 3 different throwing motions. So I think this guy's on the way out. Like, and just so that all the viewers know, like, I was a big Cam Newton fan when he was with the Panthers. So it's not a hate against Cam Newton. I think at one point he was one of the most exciting players to watch in the NFL that could throw and pass. But with a lot of these running quarterbacks, especially with one that's so big that multiple years he's been used as a running back pretty much his whole career, I think it's catching up to him. And I love the resurrection. I love that they're giving him a shot. And where else better than the Patriots? But, you know, it proves that, you know, this game and your age, especially at quarterback, can catch up to anyone. And if you're more reliant on your legs than you are with your arm, it'll catch up to you in the quarterback position. And that's what we're seeing right now in New England with Cam Newton.
I don't think we'll see Cam Newton again next year.
No, I think he's gone. I don't know if
he won't play back.
I don't know. He won't. I don't think he'll be. I think he'll be out of the job. Out of a job next year because he's not going to be a backup.
He's not good for Cam.
Yeah. It was fun.
It was fun. He got a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Didn't win it, but he
got there.
Did he win the national championship? He didn't win the national championship with Auburn.
Yeah, he did.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
And the Heisman. Yeah.
Who'd they play? I think they played Oregon.
Yeah, you're right. It was Oregon. It was Arizona.
They did.
Yeah.
Oregon has been the
But,
national
no,
champion.
I mean,
He'll be remembered.
He'll be remembered. Good career.
Yeah. Only 2
Pac-12 will
Heisman
never
trophies.
win one. I don't know what's up. Well, USC, but those.
Stanford, baby. Let's go.
Only 2 Heisman Trophy winners have ever won the Super Bowl, which is crazy. Only 2.
I heard that. I can't
Quarterbacks.
believe
I thought it was
Quarterbacks.
none. Is it 2?
Jim Plunkett
okay.
and
But this
Roger
is how
Staubach.
long ago? Yeah, so long ago. No
Way
Heisman
back.
quarterback.
What I heard
Quarterback.
is no 2 Heisman quarterbacks no 2 Heisman players have played against each other in the Super Bowl.
I don't think they've won a Super Bowl.
Which is astounding.
Yeah.
Well, no, he just named 2 that had won.
Quarterback.
How long ago was it? How long ago was that?
Right.
That's the 70s, yeah. 70s,
Yeah.
80s.
But the stat that I saw is 2 Heisman players. No Heisman player has ever played against each other in the Super Bowl, which is insane.
Is Trevor Lawrence up for Heisman? I'm sure he is, right?
Yeah,
is he?
He is.
Even though he's been hurt?
Yeah, he missed one.
Or was it
COVID?
Was it COVID or injury?
COVID. He missed
Was it for COVID protocol?
One game.
Yeah, he got COVID.
Yeah. One game.
He's
against Notre Dame. Bad game to miss.
And by the way, since we're transitioning to that, Jacksonville at Baltimore, I'm calling it here, guys. Trevor Lawrence will be a Jaguar. In April, let's fast forward a couple months from now. He will be a Jaguar. He will not.
So what?
Be
The Jets win a game?
The Jets don't have to win a game. Oh, an article was. Hey, listen. They
have to win, dude, because they haven't won one yet. Jags have won one.
It doesn't matter. An article was published today on ESPN. You guys can go read it. It's all about how Trevor Lawrence is going to pull an Eli Manning because he's best friends with the Manning family. They've been talking about this. He is not going to play for the Jets. No matter what happens, he's going to work his way out. He's not. There's no way in hell he's playing for the Jets. You guys just lagged out on me. What's up? Did I lose you?
Yeah.
No, I think he put this.
Yeah, we're lagging a little bit. You're not a Gardner Minshew fan?
Oh, I just lost you guys. Am I a Gardner? No, I think he's going to come back and play good. I am a Minshew fan, but just knowing Trevor Lawrence is from Georgia and he wants to stay, he's made it clear.
You don't pass on that guy. You just don't if you're in that position.
No. You're talking about the Jags?
You don't pass on that guy for the Jets, though. We'll see what happens.
It doesn't matter.
I don't see New York being like, oh, yeah.
No, but what about the Chargers?
He's not going to sit out a year. These guys don't.
No, maybe in the NBA, but you don't see that shit in the NFL.
But that's back when, like, I don't know. I feel like things were, I don't know. It just hasn't happened since then. No one does that.
You just don't see that shit.
They take the team and they take the team if they want to leave.
The NFL is an owner's sport, and the NBA is a player sport where the players make the rules.
Players make the rules. In the NFL, they're just.
In the NFL, you play where you fucking get chosen.
Except for John Elway and except for Eli Manning. Right?
Yeah, but we haven't seen that for a while, so that would be
huge.
You heard it first with Andrew. He loves the bold.
But then who do the Jets take? Because at least the Chargers had Phillip Rivers.
No, they take Trevor Lawrence and then they trade him
for who?
Justin
Darnold.
They trade him for the Jags for multiple pick, or they do it before they either draft him and trade him. Or they just trade him right away, or trade the draft pick. But
yeah, exactly like that. Phillip Rivers got drafted by the Giants, and then Eli got drafted by the Chargers, and they just swap him, right there. So we see Justin Fields get drafted by the Jaguars.
Another Kyler Murray Jr.
It's going to happen. He is not. He's already said today. He was on Dan Patrick. He doesn't like cold weather. He won't play in a place like New York. It's not going to happen. He's not playing for the Jets, no matter what happens. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, that's Louis.
That's Louis.
So Louis,
he's waking up. He's ready to make his picks.
Yeah. What do you think about Trevor Lawrence, Lou?
Oh,
he's
interesting.
He's got some cool hair.
Yeah.
It's like a good dog guy.
Yeah.
Biggest spread of the week. We have the Baltimore Ravens favored by 13 at Baltimore. Minshew is back. Lamar Jackson looks amazing. He had to take a poop. He ran to the locker room.
Everybody's been there. Everybody's seen that walk before where you keep your legs tight. You gotta get there ASAP. Dude. He has some diarrhea, my guess, because he was gone for a long time.
He's too prideful. He's like, no,
he's definitely had diarrhea.
He's like, who's that player in the Celtics that pulled that
Paul
shit?
Pierce,
he's like, I ain't pulling no Paul Pierce.
Yeah. It's crazy. He was gone for so long.
I thought it was so much drama. I'm like, of course.
On fourth down.
Fourth down, you see him jogging in. The guy's hurt. Here comes Lamar.
Where's my helmet?
Roger Goodell typed the screenplay for this game. Like, that's exactly what they want.
It was a great game to watch.
And they throw a touchdown, of course. You know, me and Ryan both had money on it, I think. I know
on the Browns. Oh, that's
going hard for
$150.
the Browns.
Yeah.
Going hard for the Browns.
Great game. Even though the Browns lost by a little bit, it shows that they're going to be a force in the playoffs.
What it reminded me of is that Rams KC game last year. Just back and forth.
Yeah.
Ton of fun. No defense, really. Yeah.
That was a great game.
Or even like our Thursday night game against the Rams 2 years ago, where we were wearing our blacks. Remember that?
Yep.
And it was just back and forth, like 45 points, 50 points. And we lost in overtime.
I just gotta love those shootouts, man.
I love the game.
I love when it's shootouts. I mean, it's always great for defense to play well, but when they're back and forth, it's like, oh, minute 30 left. That's too much time.
He scored.
That's way too much time. And that's it was a hell of a game.
Wait, what's your pick, Andrew?
What do we got for the Jags?
So real quick,
Gardner Minshew,
you guys are gonna be surprised by my pick, but real quick. James Robinson broke the rookie record for undrafted rookie most scrimmage yards ever by an undrafted rookie.
Wow.
Let's just put that out there.
Nice.
Even though Lamar looks amazing, he helped me win in fantasy. I know Tad's pretty pissed off about that, but I just feel like it's time.
Oh, yeah.
I just feel like
you gave him Lamar.
I did give him Lamar.
Yeah.
For Odell Beckham Jr.
The next week. My ACL.
I know, it's crazy.
I'm gonna eat some more poop.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy Lamar worked out for you, man.
If you go game by game to the Jaguars, they've lost a ton of games by one possession or one play. It might sound crazy, but I am picking the Jaguars.
Yeah, for last week.
They are due. They are due. Jacksonville 28, Baltimore 25.
Ooh, the biggest upset of upsets.
You're giving these upsets, and you're like, oh yeah, what's his name's going to the Jags for the first. So I'm like, come on, you can't keep picking the Jags, and they're not gonna be able to make that trade.
This is the first time I pick. I mean, they're gonna be 2-12.
2-12.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, well, now you're fighting with the Bengals. The Bengals are going to get rid of Burrow because he's old news. He's hurt.
Come on. I'm crazy.
We're over you, Burrow. But me will never be the same.
Give us Lawrence. I like the Ravens. I think that game last week is going to be their spark, man. I think that they bring it in. That division's tough. Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Can all three make it, or is that a two-team division? Yeah.
They can all make it. Three make it.
Three?
Browns.
Browns.
Pittsburgh,
yeah,
and Baltimore.
that is true. Yeah.
Is all three going to make it? It's the question.
I think so.
Yeah.
Especially now that there's 7.
Because we got Indy is probably going to – well, Indy and Tennessee. There's going to be 2 teams in that division.
Yeah, but there's still 7. So 3 wild cards.
Who are we missing? The South, AFC South is probably just going to be the Bills, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, the East? Yeah. Bills, Dolphins.
The East. Yeah.
East.
Dolphins, there's a chance, man, that one of those teams don't make it.
Yeah.
I would hate
a team's going to be very disappointed.
I'm honestly like, I know we get annoyed, and I know Ryan, I hear a lot, is like gets annoyed about the Baker commercials, but I like Baker.
I love him.
I didn't like it in the beginning because he was so shitty. I'm like, this guy does not deserve
I
it.
love him. I love when he does the picture thing.
I think he's I never
he's fun.
I never disliked the commercials. I disliked that he was so bad and he was getting so many commercials. That's what I said. Valid. But I love the commercials. I think he's funny. He's like,
a funny
he has the trash. He's trying to take it out, and he's like, "Hey guys, anyone gonna let me in? You know, we got a game tomorrow. We gotta wash the seats."
But even in the games, he's just fun, man. He makes plays. I mean, watching the Ravens game, the guy makes plays.
Did you see when he ran in for that touchdown? You heard it from the end zone. He's like,
shucks the ball.
I like Baker. I'm just saying, how bad he had been playing. I was like,
all
right, so this guy's getting all the advertisement just because he's a Heisman. Like,
right.
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
But I always liked the commercials. I just didn't like the volume of commercials because it was like every single commercial.
Now he's playing. He's playing.
They're good commercials. They're funny.
I know we're going away from the Ravens game. I have them 37-10. They're on fire. They're going to roll into the playoffs. We'll see.
I don't know if they're black, so I'm a little disappointed about that. Because their home jersey is purple, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Is it purple?
Yeah, their home jersey is purple. All black.
Their primary, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a little disappointed about that. Really
pointed in the jersey.
Yeah, really worried about that just because they play so much better in blacks, especially against this game where they should win. So
you looked up the jersey colors.
Yeah, the Jags were black last week, and it wasn't lucky for them last week. So I think that's a telltale sign that one team does good in blacks one week, and then the other team does terrible in blacks on the same week last week because they both wore blacks. So
do you like the 13 points though?
I think they flipped the script, maybe, right?
It's a big spread.
No. In all seriousness, I think the Baltimore Ravens are building up steam. I think Lamar Jackson was looking. I think he was looking for a win like this all year because we just didn't see Lamar Jackson of last year. So I think this year, this was like a statement win against the Browns, and I think it carries on against the Jags. I think the Jags, I think it's just a bad year for them.
Mm-hmm.
They've normally been in games. Last week they got kind of blown out, and I think that this week, I think the Baltimore Ravens, they solidify with that win against the Browns. I think they're really, really focused now, and they're dialed in on the playoffs, and they can't let any of the games that they shouldn't win get past them. So the 13.5-point spread, 13-point spread, I don't like that. But as far as winning the game, Baltimore all day.
Okay. We shall see.
And I think that Kegan went to actually go walk Louis right now.
Oh, okay. So he's not going to make the pick on the next one. Got it.
No, I think he can actually make it because Louis pisses really quick. So when he gets down the stairs, he'll pee and then they'll go back up.
Gotcha.
For my dog, because I have a husky, I have to take her around the whole block to sniff everything.
That's how my dog is too. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
But with this guy, I mean, he just goes down to the stairs. This guy, Louis, he'll just piss right on the concrete, right outside the door, and he'll just come right back up.
Yeah. And I know how it feels to have a dog like yours, where it's like, it's an event.
It is an event. Like you got to put your coat on.
Yeah.
Prepare to walk
boots
around the block, in the boots. You got to gear up because it's not going to be a short walk ever.
Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Tampa Bay is favored by 6. Notable missing pieces possibly Ronald Jones and Julio Jones. Ronald Jones probably not.
Wait, Ronald Jones is out?
Possibly. From what the report said today is he's questionable. Julio Jones is more likely. Because he's dealing with I don't exactly know what it is, but he's dealing with more of a severe injury. He didn't play last week.
Wasn't it a hamstring or something?
It could be, yeah. Atlanta's defense.
Because I know he had a lingering hamstring.
I wouldn't be surprised with the body that big. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
tough. Takes a lot of maintenance.
Look who's back. That's what I told you, bro. Like. Same thing with me. He's like, you're taking your dog on a walk. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be like 15, 20 minutes. He can go back. I mean, literally, it's been like a minute.
Yeah.
It's called being trained well.
Oh, my God.
You go outside, you piss, you shit, and go. Let's go. Wrap it up.
Atlanta has the 28th overall defense.
All right, where are we at, guys?
Tampa Bay and Atlanta. The Bucs have the 17th overall offense. Tampa Bay's D is playing lights out right now, 7th overall. They're only giving up 80 rushing yards a game, which is first in the NFL. That's going to be big because Atlanta's run game is non-existent. They don't run the ball at all. They're going to have to pass the ball, so it's just going to be Calvin Ridley. I just don't see it happening. Tom Brady's fired up. It's December. It's Tom time. I have the Buccaneers winning. Since it's a divisional game, I have it being a high-scoring affair, 30-24 in favor of the Tampa Bay Toms.
I say high-scoring too. Lagging a little bit there.
Yeah, we lagged out.
You back?
Oh, we're back.
Who'd you pick, Andrew?
You got it. You got Tampa, Tom. I heard Tom December.
I have the Tampa Bay Toms. 30-24.
Who's going?
The Tampa Bay Tom.
All right. So this game was interesting for me. We got Falcon. You got Falcons at 6, right? I think we got them at 6. I like the Bucks to win, the Falcons to cover.
Okay.
Ooh.
The only reason I say that is because I know it's Tampa Bay, so new with Tom, but it's the old rivalry, right? The good old NFC South. I think that, like you said, the running game might be inefficient, but that doesn't matter. Matt Ryan can throw the rock. Tampa Bay, they had their bye week. They won. What would they win by? A couple touchdowns last week?
Yeah, they whooped Smash.
Did they?
Oh yeah. Against the Vikings, but the Vikings did come back.
I'm still not sold. I like Bucks to win, Falcons to cover the +6.
Okay.
What do you got, Ryan?
So Vikings came up. They came back a little bit, but the Bucks ended up winning by. I knew that was going to be, a big time game for Tom Brady. I knew that he was going to show up coming off the bye. I knew he was going to get his boys in place. He's got too many weapons, and with the defense playing lights out, I think it's Tampa Bay all day.
Antonio Brown gets a lot of playing time.
Yeah, well, they love him, because his time may be up. You never know.
He plays a lot.
Yeah, the jury may come down on him, and he may be guilty. So you got to play when you can. So, yeah, pretty standard stuff. But I think Tampa Bay wins by, I think they win by 14 points on this one. Atlanta's offense is good. But without a running game, they're going to be one-dimensional. And I think with Tampa Bay hitting stride right now, I think it's all Tampa Bay, even at home. With Tom focused on the playoffs, Tampa Bay wins by 14.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Or Tampa Bay.
He actually copyrighted that too, by the way, when he signed the contract. He copyrighted Tampa Bay.
Oh, he did?
He did, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Well, we can't
Smart
put that
guy.
Yeah.
Smart guy.
Or maybe it was all Giselle's idea, most likely.
The Detroit Lions at the Tennessee Titans. The Titans are favored by 11. That's probably because Matt Stafford's rib cage got destroyed. Actually, no, he got crumpled up like an accordion, is what they've been saying. I actually was watching that game live, and I saw that hit, and I was like, whoa.
More like it.
Yeah. Chase Daniel should be the starting quarterback, which spells trouble. And Derrick Henry's going up against the 29th overall defense. So, yeah, this is going to be bad. But
we got Galladay back now, right? Fine.
Yeah, I guess that is cool, but I don't think it's going to matter. I guess that's cool. I don't think it's going to matter with Chase Daniel. From when he did come in, there's just a lot of pressure on that guy, and he's not ready to start, especially against a team that's hungry for the playoffs. And Derrick Henry's bee stinger in the back.
Chase Daniel's been a quarter. The bee stinger. I love that.
What do you got? How bad you got Tennessee winning?
I got Tennessee winning 36-14.
Ooh.
I got another touchdown in there. I got Tennessee 42-14.
Okay.
I loved Tennessee last week. They made me a little money, which was nice. They know what they got to do. I think that wake-up call versus the Browns. I like Mike Vrabel. I like that team. Obviously, the Lions are a mess. I love the -11. It's big, but I love it. I think Tennessee knows that they got to win with the Colts. Same record, right?
Yeah. It's neck and neck.
It's neck and neck, man. And the good old AFC South, you never know what's going to happen, but I like Tennessee. I think they just keep it rolling. Tannehill is a lot better than I ever thought he was, honestly. They ground and pound, and they absolutely destroy the Lions. See you next year. We'll see what happens. Find a coach, find a GM, find a quarterback. Right. It's going to be a long road for the Lions, and going to continue on Sunday.
All right. So, Tennessee Titans have been playing really well. Detroit hasn't been playing the best, but I think Galladay's back, and I think that Detroit does enough and they win the game.
Stop.
That's gonna be my upset of the week.
No way. Really?
It's so like the Tennessee Titans to fuck shit up like this.
I'll put all the money.
DeAndre Swift. No, DeAndre Swift is on tear right now. He's been playing real nice. I think that's an easy check down for Matt Stafford. And you got Marvin Jones, and then you also have you have Marvin Jones, and you have Golladay coming back. He's got his weapons back. They're gonna be playing free. Nothing on the line. So this is my upset of the week. I got Detroit Lions, and I love Tennessee, but I think that they're gonna hone in on Derrick Henry, and I think with AJ Brown with his drop issues, Davis. On and off, hot and cold. I think this is a recipe for an upset. I'm picking Detroit Lions, baby.
Ooh.
First off, it's Corey Davis.
What did I say?
Said some. What did you say?
Corey something.
You just said Corey.
I thought I said
Anyways,
I have him on my team.
I know.
Sorry. I've had a couple of these, so
Yeah.
But yeah, no. But regardless, I had it written down. It's gonna be Detroit, and they're gonna upset it. They're gonna win by 3.
AJ Brown's been on fire. You see that catch in the end zone?
Yeah, but AJ Brown's been dealing with injuries left and right. I mean, he comes out for a couple plays, he comes back on. I could see him. I could see him getting injured on the first play. But regardless, the fact that you have Adrian Peterson running pretty nice, and you have DeAndre Swift, who's 100% now, and you have Golladay back and Marvin Jones, Matt Ryan, he's playing for a job, maybe not in Detroit, but he's playing for a job. And I think this could be an oversight for Tennessee. That's why I'm picking.
Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, I like it. Hey, we're putting our balls on the line with the Jaguars and the Lions this week, so I like it.
Slim Shady picked the Lions too.
Of course you did. Yeah. Of course you did.
From the
Pick
Duke.
podcast. Yeah.
A team that's been around since 1920 and has never made the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
They are plagued.
Slaughtered.
I'll
the Colts.
put my car on it. My
Ford.
truck.
I like the truck.
2018 Ford F-150.
Oh, that's why you picked the Lions, because you got the Ford.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Ford, baby. Back in the hometown.
Philadelphia Eagles at the Arizona Cardinals. The end zone will say Cardinals this week, even though when the Niners play there, it says Cardinals too. Arizona, their pass rush looks great. It's going to be hard to contain Hurts. Him and Lamar Jackson were the first quarterbacks in 50 years to have 100 yards in their first start, which is just crazy. Arizona's given up 120 yards rushing a game. So I am going to go out on a limb on this one. The Cardinals are favored by 6. I like Jalen Hurts. I'm picking the Eagles to win 21-20.
Okay. You're sticking with the Hurts, huh? All right.
Yeah.
I'll go next this time. All right. So Philly at Arizona, lots of drama. You have Philly that had a little spark plug with Jalen Hurts. You have Arizona that got a little tiny spark from last week's win and is also in the wild card hunt for the NFC playoffs. Okay. A lot of drama here. The line's 6.5, like you had said. All right. I think Kenyon Drink, they finally found out a recipe to fit this guy in, right?
It has come along because I had him on the league and he was terrible.
Yeah. A little bit of Drake, a little bit of Edmonds.
Little sprinkle here, Edmonds here. You know what I mean? They finally found out that balance, And for a team that's been so wishy-washy this year, I think that they want to start a winning streak, okay? And yes, they are favored, okay, by 6.5 points.
That's pretty big.
I could see them winning by big time. The first time a quarterback steps on the field with no tape, you always see those type of things. You really do. They have no tape on Jalen Hurts except for college, So how do you game plan for a guy that has barely any NFL tape, right? I think this is when Jalen Hurts gets checked, okay? Arizona, do you know if they get their who's Chandler, their defensive end?
He's gone for the year.
Oh, is he gone for the
he
year?
tore his bicep.
Okay, but I love that rookie from
Isaiah Simmons.
Isaiah Simmons. I love that rookie, and I think he's going to be all over the field. He's going to be the difference maker in this game. I'm calling it. He's going to have 2 sacks and 1 pick. I'm calling it right now. 2 sacks, 1 pick. Isaiah Simmons. He's finally in the NFL. He's emerging, and I'm not a big fan of the Arizona Cardinals, but I think that Jalen Hurts was a little stunt last week, and I think that Arizona makes a push for the playoffs. As much as I don't like it, Arizona by 21 points, 3 touchdowns.
Whoa. Okay. Cool.
So the whole New Orleans game was just a fluke.
Fluke. Yeah, fluke. Arizona was comfortable. New Orleans was comfortable. New Orleans was comfortable against a team that was looking like shit. And then Jalen Hurts, who they have no tape on, surprised them. You know what Arizona's going to do? They're going to study that tape. All it takes is that one game. Now they have tape on him. They know his tendencies. They can study up their practice squad to practice up against them all week.
That practice squad.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to be prepared. So Arizona Cardinals, do not be surprised if they go off on this Philadelphia Eagles team.
You heard it here first.
Kyler Murray, huh? All right. So I'm from Arizona. So I have a lot of Cardinal fans that are friends.
Friends or fans?
Friends.
Friends.
that are fans. and there's this whole spiel going on about like Kyler Murray's attitude is bad. Like when he loses games, he gives short answers in the media. He's real closed off in practice, I guess.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a lot of friends. Like
he opened up a little more this year, but last year for sure they said that.
But they're saying this year he's still having the same issues going on, that he's just like real closed off, doesn't really like to talk to the media, doesn't hold himself accountable for the losses. When he's winning, he's like, yeah, let's go. DeAndre Hopkins, Hail Mary.
All about the team.
So I thought the Giants last week were going to come in and be like, okay, and close it out, but the Cardinals look great. So that whole talk, I don't know. You know how that goes. The media hypes those kind of things up because they have nothing else to talk about.
Especially in 2020.
But the Eagles put on a nice little show. I don't know. It's a tough one. What'd you say the line was?
Both teams coming off an incredible win.
Six on my side, 6.5 from Ryan. So
6.5 was ESPN today.
It's tough. I think it's a close matchup, so I would take the Dogs and the Eagles just because I think it's going to be close. I don't see
in Arizona.
In Arizona, I mean, I don't know if that really matters this year. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was proven wrong about the Cardinals last week. I wouldn't put money on this game.
Yeah,
I wouldn't think it would be a good game. Maybe Jalen Hurts is something, man. I mean, who knows? They still have something to fight for. Obviously, the Cardinals
have tape on this guy.
Yeah, one game.
Average.
Teams had tape on Colin Kaepernick. Took him a long time to figure it out.
3 years.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the Eagles to cover, Cardinals to win. Kind of just throw the dice out there. Where are we going to land?
So we got 2 Eagles, right? You picked the Eagles as well?
Yep.
I have dominant win from the Cardinals. Budda Baker is going to get an interception as well. Ooh. There's going to be multiple interceptions. I'm guessing 2. One from Isaiah Simmons and one from Budda
Baker. Okay.
And this is coming from the guy that's picking the line.
Yeah.
Again, but if you've been watching our podcast, I don't really pick too many upsets. Maybe one. No. You know what I mean? Yeah. But as you get to the end of the year, crazy shit happens. It really does. Teams get overlooked, and crazy stuff happens. You know, people are playing for their jobs next year. A lot of these guys are on contract years. You know what I mean? And then a lot of these teams on the flip are getting more healthy as the year ends. And there's something to be said about that team that really just plays loose, you know, that really doesn't have anything to worry about. And
sure.
I think Detroit, I think they're playing for their new coach as well. So I like the storyline. I like them getting more healthy. So it's not just a blind pick. I just like that storm coming in. And I think with Kingsbury, I could easily see the Cardinals losing this game. That's why I pick it. It's not like just a random pick. Like these things happen in the NFL all the time. You see it week after week.
But you have the Cardinals winning. right? You said
Yes, he does. Yes, he
blowing
does.
out.
Oh, yes.
Blowing
yeah.
out the Eagles.
Sorry. I was just saying about the Detroit Lions. But yes, Kyle Kingsbury,
got you.
I'm saying he's kind of a wishy-washy coach. So it's like
Cliff Kingsbury.
Cliff Kingsbury. I think he's just got a lot to prove. You know what I mean? And
I think it's Kyler Kingsbury and Cliff Murray.
That's what it is.
Either way, we roll with the 9, screw the Cards. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I think it is an opportunity for the Cardinals to show that, hey, we belong in the playoffs.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I just see it as a close game. If I'm looking at the spread, I'm looking at it as a closer game.
And the Eagles,
but I can't
bizarrely enough, hang in games. So I understand.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. I just think that this is one of those games that don't fit the mold because everyone's going to be high on the Eagles and they're going to see the tape on Jalen, and I think he might be exposed. Does that mean that Jalen Hurts has a bad career? No, it doesn't. I just think that the second game on a rookie quarterback, in my opinion, it oftentimes is a recipe for a setback because it's a reality check. And I think the Cardinals coming on such a critical game to make the playoffs, I think that that's why I'm picking such a big win for the Cardinals because it's going to be a reality check for Jalen Hurts. Does he come back the next game and prove himself as a legit quarterback? That's to be seen still. But this game, I like the Cardinals.
Okay. This next game might be the biggest spread of the season. I'm just looking at the number and I can't believe it. It's a 17-point spread. The Jets at the Rams. The Rams have a legendary defense at this point. They're giving up the lowest amount of yards per game in the air. They're first in the NFL, 191 yards a game. That's the lowest. And they're only giving up 94 yards a game on the ground. That's the second lowest. I mean, the 30th overall defense and the 32nd overall offense going up against this kind of defense. This is a blowout. If I said the water had to part for the Eagles last week, like the world needs to tilt off its axis for this game to change. Like I did want to put 0, but I am going to give them 3. So I have 46-3 Rams.
Hold on. Give that score one more time.
46-3 in favor of the Rams. I did want to give them the goose egg, but I was nice. So I'm going to give them 3.
They can score some points. I mean, come on. Dude.
Last week, they only scored 3.
I don't know. Against this defense at home, this Rams defense it needs a nickname at this point. Like, it's legendary. They're going that way. It really is. The numbers will say otherwise.
I mean, the reason why we don't see it that clearly is because we've beat them 2 times this year.
Right.
But if you do look at the history this season against every other opponent,
they're killing it.
They're elite. Yeah, they really are.
Okay. I mean, I'm with you. I don't know.
Brockers is coming into his own big time.
I would give the Jets more than 3 points this week.
Are you going to give them 6? You can give them 6.
I'm going to give them 13 points versus the vaunted Rams D that you guys speak about. Either way, the Rams will win the game. They're probably going to cover. I mean, that is a huge spread.
They're going to cover.
Probably won't watch. But I'll keep an eye on it.
Andrew has them covering by like 20 points.
Yeah, exactly. By a lot. So,
what do you got on this one?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of my locks of the week for pick'ems at least. You know, this is Rams all day. You know, at home doesn't really mean too much, but whenever you have to travel from the East Coast to the West Coast, I mean, mostly when you travel from the West Coast to the East Coast, but whenever you got to travel 2 time zones, it's going to affect you. On the struggling team that has no wins, why not prove it right now against the Rams, right? I think they bounced back from last week. I think it's going to be a lot closer than you say. And you see it from the Rams all the time. Where they'll win big, they look good, and then it'll be a close game. Now, do I think that the Jets have any chance of winning? No. Okay. but I do see the Jets surprising some people. I could see them, scoring a couple touchdowns in this game. Just if they're relying on the run, if they open up the pass with Mims and Crowder. But again, I don't have a score on this game, but I think the Rams win it convincingly. But whenever the spread's that high, I'm not going to put my money on it. But Rams all day for the win. They got too much going for them. Their defense is elite. Their offense is coming in too. Their running game is coming into place now. Akers just completely dominated the game last week. I think he's like someone that every fantasy player was hoping that he would be when they drafted him. Mm-hmm. So let's not underestimate any of that. I'm just saying I don't know if it's going to be as outlandish as Andrew is predicting, because whenever you have these crazy widespread games, there's always garbage points. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to be close throughout. I just could see the Jets scoring a couple touchdowns at the end. That's all.
Yeah,
Rams all day.
Rams 13 points. Jets. Excuse me.
Yeah, Jets 13 points. Yeah.
And once again, I want to refer back to that article on ESPN. Make sure to go to ESPN and read that. It's the top headline right now. Trevor Lawrence is not going to play for the Jets. Insiders are writing this. This is, first of all, I'm telling you, go read the article. His favorite player growing up was Peyton Manning. He's best friends with Archie Manning, Eli Manning. They are 100% behind Trevor Lawrence. I feel so bad for the Jets. I hate saying this. Like, if you're a fan of the Jets, this must be a
You can't
nightmare.
feel bad for them. You feel bad for the Jets. Jets fans.
I feel bad for the Jets fans who are limping through a COVID season in an infected area as New York City, and you're probably one of the worst teams in sports history. And at the end of the rainbow, you're not going to get Trevor Lawrence. Like, that is just heartbreaking, but it's not going to happen. Trevor Lawrence will not play for the Jets. He will cry his ass off. He's not playing for the Jets.
Just as outlandish as that is, how outlandish is you trying to bring back the Velcro strap on the cap there?
There's nothing wrong with the Velcro.
I didn't even realize he had it.
Oh my God!
Don't listen.
Forget the snapback. You know what? It goes pro fit, right? That was big when we were growing up.
That's my number one.
And then we had the snapback, which was huge, right? The snapback has been huge for a while, and I think we're finally evolving to the Velcro.
I didn't buy this.
I gave you a Velcro Liverpool.
Dude, welcome to the 30s. You don't matter. Velcro, whatever.
I didn't buy this, by the way. I have a fitted Niners hat upstairs. My ex-fiance was in San Francisco a couple years ago. She bought this at the airport. I don't buy these kind of hats, but it's like you said.
I love the Niners.
You're 30. You can wear it backwards and you put it on, and who cares anymore?
You can adjust it real easy. You're not limited by the actual pin. You can just Velcro it wherever it fits.
In the dark.
It's the best fit possible.
Yeah. Do you remember playing Little League Baseball and you wear what you're wearing, Ryan, and the little pins break off? And you're like trying to put those back.
Oh yeah.
You had to you had to change it. You're like, my head doesn't fit this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna force it into this other pin.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
That doesn't happen with this.
Never happens with the Velcro.
You don't
it's
worry.
Bulletproof.
On and off. You just leave it, dude. You got to fit. You're good to go.
That's right.
I can't wait till the draft, Andrew. We're gonna have to get on the podcast live. Draft, and I'm gonna watch Trevor Lawrence step up and put his New York Jets hat on.
Can we
smile?
Can we do a live stream?
It's gonna be so awkward when he's like Eli Manning, like holding the Jets jersey, and Adam Gase all googly eyed.
Adam Gase will not be.
How the fuck is Adam Gase still the coach? How is he still the coach right now? What the fuck is going on?
I think he's good at like sweet talking in the back room or something, you know?
He must be, because nothing sweet about even his introductory speech.
Anytime. I mean, what is
Like you saw it? Did you see his introductory speech? He's
his
like,
eyes are all
yeah, and he's wigging out like he's on
tweaked
fucking
out.
bath salts, like looking at the lights and shit. We'll see.
There's no
I
way
got
he's
some
not
friends
sure.
who are Jaguars fans, and I just want to say you're gonna get Trevor Lawrence. Be patient. He is gonna come to you. He wants to stay in the South. He will do everything in his power. He has the power to do it. He's not gonna be a Jet. We will not see him play
He
for
has
the
the
Jets.
power.
He does.
Yeah, power. He does.
Yeah, we'll see.
Kansas City.
He's a New York Jet.
But again, owners player league.
Kansas City
Or
at
owners.
New Orleans. Kansas City's. This has to be the lowest favored
Ooh.
points from the Chiefs in the past like year and a half. Kansas City's favored by 3 against
It's over 7.
This is the game of the week, lowest spread of the year for the Chiefs. Drew Brees is back. Second straight road game for the Chiefs. And I'm going to keep rolling with the upsets. I mean, what can we really say about the Chiefs? They do everything right. But eventually you're going to run into somebody, like you said, Ryan. You run into somebody sometimes. I got the Saints winning 37-34.
But let me ask you this: how do you think that plays out? You think that the Saints have the ball last? Because I don't see any scenario with Pat Mahomes having the ball last.
Did you watch the Eagles game? Any of it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I know. But Drew Brees is back, so this is a different.
Oh, is he?
Drew Brees is going to be starting.
That's official?
Yes, Drew Brees is back. He's starting.
That's why. That's why. Beat the best team in the NFL?
Do you think Pat Mahomes stepping in is in the dome?
It's in the dome. Yeah. I mean, the only reason I say that is because Drew Brees is back. Michael Thomas looks tip-top shape. Alvin Kamara, tip-top shape. The defense is lights out.
New Orleans is they're a good football team.
Right. And they got good defense. But my question is, if you think it's going to be that close, you're betting on the fact that New Orleans Saints has the ball last, because that's the big thing. If it's going to be that close, it's do you think that Pat Mahomes will have the ball in his hands at the end of the game? Because if the question is that, or if the answer is that,
then it's the Chiefs.
You can't bet against Patrick Mahomes.
I know.
Man.
I'm not trying to. I'm really not.
So you think Sean Payton is going to manage the clock well enough to have his team have the ball last and Drew Brees kick a field goal and win the game? That's what you're saying?
I just see some
Or did
struggles.
you say 37? You said 37-34, right?
Correct. Yeah. So it is going to come down to that last
So that's
possession.
what you're envisioning.
Yeah.
I mean,
from the Saints. Because if the last possession's with the Chiefs, it would take a madman to think that Pat Mahomes ain't going to win at the end of the game.
Yeah, but what happened last week? I mean, who was the Chiefs? I had the Chiefs
Miami.
at 7.5, and Miami kicks the field goal.
But that's garbage points.
They're not blowing teams out anymore.
No, they don't. No, but that's a whole nother argument. We're talking about pick'ems, right? That's a whole nother argument, because you're exactly right. The Chiefs don't blow anybody out, and I almost think that, like I said last week, they toy with teams. They're not going to blow them out, and it might be a DNA set by Andy Reid. So that's why I asked Andrew the critical question on, because you're guessing that, you're not guessing them holding them at the end of the game. You're guessing them winning at the very end of the game. Correct.
It could easily be 37-34 Chiefs. This is the game of the week. No doubt about it. This is going to have the most.
Is this Sunday night? What time is the game? I really hope it's Sunday night.
It is Sunday, 2:25.
No, yeah, that would be a great Sunday nighter. It would be.
It would have been a great Sunday night.
Instead, we got Cleveland and Giants.
All right, well, stay tuned to your HBO programming.
Stream as much as you can.
Darn it! Why isn't that game Sunday night?
It'll still be national TV.
Why would
but
they
yeah,
flex that?
They should flex it. I don't know.
No, you're right.
Maybe because the Giants still are playing for the division, and the Browns had a great showing last week.
It's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be a lot of offense. I see the Chiefs winning. It's hard to give you a score.
Yeah.
Just because the Chiefs don't blow anybody out anymore.
No.
We'll see what
They
Drew
win by
Brees has got.
30?
That, I mean,
You
obviously
think the
that's a
Chiefs
big-
win by 3 and it's a push?
No, I see him winning by 7+. Chiefs 7+.
Okay.
Okay. I'll keep it short. I think that the Chiefs win by 7 or more. And the only reason is not because of the Saints, but because of Drew Brees coming back on his first game and kind of shaking off some of those cobwebs. I think it's going to be a close game, but when you have a quarterback that's been out for 4 weeks playing against the best football team in the NFL, it's just not a good matchup, you know. But because their defense is so good and because Drew Brees is Drew Brees and because it's second nature, I think that he'll be surprisingly good. But to beat this team is a lot to ask for, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't hate your pick with the Saints. I do think it's going to be a great game, a game that everybody should tune in for. But yeah, I'm picking the Chiefs. Pat Mahomes, man, prove me wrong, but I'm picking him. I'm picking Pat Mahomes. I'm not even picking the Chiefs. I'm picking freaking Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Because the guy, I haven't won one bet against the Chiefs. I haven't won one bet against the Chiefs this year.
It's crazy.
And I've only won money for the Chiefs. Yeah, the guy gets it done. Until you prove me wrong, I'm not going to pick any different.
Last week, Miami, you didn't cover, but they still won.
Yeah, I mean, throw the spreads out the window.
I feel like their defense is a little suspect.
Throw the spreads out.
Their defense is a little suspect.
Sure.
Obviously.
I'm just saying throw the spreads out the window. KC wins the game. That's what I'm focused on in this game. I'm not worried about the spread. I'm not worried about the over-under. I'm saying the Chiefs win the freaking football game.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
So before we go,
I do agree with you, Andrew.
It's going to be a great game. Yeah. Before we go to the Sunday nighter, for some reason, the past 3 podcasts, we forget about the Texans game. I don't know what it is. We just always forget about the Texans. So Indianapolis.
It's like the Bill O'Brien after effect.
Yeah. Indianapolis and Houston are playing. And I think the Colts are favored by, is it 5? If someone want to check that.
I have them at 7.
7.
I have them at
Today,
7.
Today it's 7.
High, heavy money on Indy, as it should be, I think.
Yeah, me too. Especially after you have a banged up Deshaun Watson.
Nothing to play for.
You have a defense that's not anything. I think they're middle of the road. You have an Indy team that's really hitting stride. You look at last week, and you really saw the emergence of Jonathan Taylor, and that's what we've all been waiting for, right? Yes, sprinkles of Naheem Hines, very important, but you should never be a football team that relies on your scat back. You know what I mean? You need that reliable bell cow if you're going to be a serious team, especially with the DNA. For the DNA of the Colts, with hard football, hard defense, and a quarterback that's a game manager and that puts the ball in the position and really manages the game correctly, right? So if you have a game manager at quarterback, right, and you have an emergence of T.Y. Hilton and you have an emergence of Jonathan Taylor, it's a recipe of disaster. Fuck the Houston Texans. It's all Colts. Colts win by 14 plus points.
It's so crazy to hear you say emergence.
I would take
T.Y.
the
It's so crazy.
Reemergence.
Okay,
but it is crazy. But if you're watching the football games this year, then you'll know what I'm talking about because T.Y. has been in absence. He's been a ghost this year.
Yeah,
but 3 weeks ago, you're like, oh shit, they have T.Y. Hilton, right? And then you also have Michael Pittman he coming up. Yeah, so you get these pieces that are playing the correct football in the correct time period before the playoffs. And whenever you're looking at teams that make playoff pushes, you're talking about not record. You're talking about teams that are hitting their stride at the right moments. And when I look at the Colts, I'm looking at the team that's hitting their stride right now. And when I look at the Houston, they're a mess. Okay, and with that strong defense, you put a couple more hits on an already banged up Deshaun Watson, it's a recipe for disaster. That's my opinion.
I mean, the Bears just blew him out. Houston. They blew him out.
Yeah.
And I thought Deshaun Watson was kind of a wild card, obviously makes big plays, but Indy does too much to play for. This is a way bigger game for him.
Mm-hmm.
I have it at 7. I have him barely covering 28-20. Just because I've never seen the Colts blow out anybody. I mean, they don't blow out anybody. They'll win the game, but they're not blowing out teams.
Yeah.
So I think it's closer than maybe you would see on paper, just because, it's the Colts. But I see them playing, for a lot more than Houston. I got him 28-20.
And that's a birthday. That's a birthday pick right there.
The birthday pick. The birthday pick is there's no way Lawrence does not go to the Jets.
Oh!
No, absolutely. I can't wait to text you, be live streaming with you. When Trevor Lawrence is smiling for the camera.
Get jersey.
Get yourself a Jets jersey. Dude.
It's great and green.
Yeah. What do you got on this game?
I'm gonna have them covering 21-13 Colts. Jonathan Taylor's run was insane. Like there was 3 guys on his back on that touchdown run, and nobody could catch him.
I don't think it's.
It was just like he was like an inch away from those guys.
We're all waiting for that, dude.
Like this is
how long have everyone been waiting for that?
A while, yeah. And Naheem Hines, like you said, you pepper him in. He's that scat back. He can make valuable catches in crunch time. Michael Pittman,
Reggie Bush,
T.Y. Hilton. I know Zach is probably excited to see the reemergence of him. I know Zach's probably excited just in general by the Colts, how they're playing. The crazy thing about them is when they're on the goal line or when it's 4th and 1, like they're the only team in the league that brings in the backup quarterback, Brissett, to quarterback sneak and get that yard, That's kind of a cool little dimension for them.
Really?
They do it every time.
Every now and then they'll pull them in. They've done it on the goal line.
Kind of like Taysom Hill.
Yeah. Rivers is like, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So have you guys heard about this whole thing about Rivers not coming back next year?
I haven't.
So I guess there's a whole thing that like Rivers is guaranteed not to come back next year. I don't know if it's a salary cap issue or what, but they're like, yeah, Philip Rivers will not be in Colt next year.
I have heard that, and I've heard Carson Wentz is the favorite to go there at this point. That's what I've been hearing.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I just don't know where he's going to go with that salary cap, but he's got to go somewhere. They got to get rid of him somehow, somewhere.
All right. And I think this would be a cool time to get a third-party preference on who's going to win this matchup. We're calling Zach right now. He's live. What's up, Z? How's it going, man?
Good.
So you're live on on Andrew's podcast right now. Say what's up.
What's going on, Shine?
We are talking about the Indianapolis
So right now
Colts.
we're on the Indianapolis Colts pick against Houston. Do you think that we want a prediction and an educated guess on what's going to happen in this game? What would you say?
I would say not even like being biased. I think Indianapolis is going to fucking destroy them in the trenches on both sides of the ball. And I think, honestly, Deshaun's definitely going to do his work and get his 2 touchdowns. I would say he'd probably have a rushing, maybe 2 rushing. I would say probably 2 through the air. Deshaun always does his thing. But especially now that we have the defense on lock, man, like they end us running the ball good. Like we're pretty much, we run the tempo on most games. Most people can't stick with us because our defense complements our offense. And now that Jonathan Taylor and Hines are going off, Pittman's finally coming into his game. Hilton's finally coming back.
Yeah,
we're looking pretty good.
Boom. And Michael Pittman, sprinkle him in.
Right.
Look at that.
That's what we're talking about.
Taking away the double team off T.Y. is actually a big deal.
Yes, sir.
T.Y.'s back.
Yeah, that's what I had too.
Actually, the emergence of Mo Alley Cox as well.
Yeah,
helping out as well is it's a big deal. He's a big time run blocker as well. So it's almost like another offensive line. He's like 300 pounds. He's like 6'9".
Yeah, no, I agree. He's a big time tight end right now. He's kind of emerged above Jack Doyle. So that's
it could definitely be a close game, and Houston could definitely still win. But I think at this point in the season, especially, I feel like we're actually gaining momentum every single game. I think we're going to steamroll.
All right. You heard it first from an Indianapolis Colts maniac fan that watches every single game. So I just thought we'd throw a little outside source in there. So
And that was actually my best try at being non-biased. But they have, outside of literally Will Fuller, they have no weapons. I don't really know who else.
Yeah.
Johnson shows up every once in a while.
Will
they're
Fuller's
pretty
gone.
banged up right now. So I think
There is no Will Fuller.
Yeah, and Will Fuller's gone. So I think that's a great.
Sean Watson's gonna have to have a 50-point game.
Yeah, I think that's a great take, man. And I'll talk to you a little bit later, Zach. But I just thought we'd bring you in for the Colts pick.
Oh, definitely. Yo, holla at me later, right? Yo, I got my new car today.
Awesome, man. Can't wait to hear all about it. I know Andrew loves whenever we can have guest features on this podcast here. And it's actually.
And I still love the Rocky State, man. I still love the league, dude. It was never. That's why I left, is because I didn't want it to be hard feelings.
Yeah.
You already know. Zach, he's won championships in our fantasy league. He's always a welcome guest. It's Keegs is on the line right now too. It's his 31st birthday. So.
Hey. What up, Keegs?
Hey, dog. So yeah, I'm getting last. I'm getting last in our fantasy, but it's all good. I'm not wearing a pink dress or anything like that.
No.
Just throwing that out there.
Well, we're still.
So who made the playoffs?
We're still working through that.
Who's in the final four?
who's in the final four, Andrew?
I'm the magical team, dude. I have emerged from 2-6 to be in the final four.
We gotta pull a Zach this year.
I know.
I don't know.
That Lamar Jackson trade.
Dude, honestly, I'll say it right now. The moment I traded Ezekiel Elliott, everything changed. Everything changed. When I got
to
James
make those
Robinson.
big decisions to make those big moves. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. So, hey, always a pleasure talking to you, Zach. I'll talk to you later in the week here soon. But thanks for being a guest, man. You always have the right take on it, especially when it comes to the Colts.
Definitely. Hey, I'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Thanks, Z. Good to talk to you, buddy. Love you.
Later.
Yeah, like he said, the game is won in the trenches by the big uglies up front. So it's going to be definitely a game for that on the line. The Sunday night game, we have the Cleveland Browns at the New York Giants. The Browns are favored by 5. Cleveland's offense looks great. I'm a Baker Mayfield fan myself now. I have come around. He has a new commercial where he's talking to the stadium guy, and the stadium guy is like, hey, we have people coming to do maintenance on the field. And Baker Mayfield's like, we have company coming? And he's running to get it's so great. Yeah, it's awesome. I'm a fan. I am a Baker Mayfield fan. I will come out and say it. I did not like the guy. I thought he was overrated. I am a fan. I am a Baker Mayfield fan. So I want to see the guy succeed. I think
Andrew, you heard it first. Andrew's coming out of the closet.
He's a Baker guy.
I'm a Baker.
As a Baker guy.
I am a Baker Mayfield fan, although I think the Giants defense is elite.
Yeah, I mean,
patty cake, batty cake, Baker's man.
Baker bakes.
They have the 12th overall defense.
Right.
Cleveland has a middle of the road to bottom tier defense at 19. Surprisingly, I was surprised to see that. I'm going to go out and say that the Giants have a lot to play for, more than the Browns. The Browns already they're going to be in the playoffs. So I got the Giants winning 22-19.
Oh, wow.
What's the point of all the Baker talk?
Well, they already made the playoffs. I mean, come on. It's okay. It's fine.
It's enough.
They haven't made the playoffs.
They're 9-4.
They're basically there.
Ravens,
Yeah, but
right?
for the division.
They're there.
For the division, not for the playoffs.
Yeah, they're there. They're
I don't know.
They'd have to lose 3 in a row to maybe miss the
You
playoffs.
think they're going to lose 2 in a
This
row
year,
after
though?
that loss?
This
versus
year,
Baltimore?
this year, 7 teams make the playoffs. What Andrew's saying is that they're going to make the playoffs. That means that they
just
they
throw
can-
the towel versus the draft.
no, but they can lose out and still make the playoffs.
Yeah.
and they could lose 1 game and win the division. So he's just saying that the Giants have a lot more to play for.
Well, they can't
That's
win
what-
the
that's what
division
Andrew's
now
saying.
because the Steelers are 11-2.
Steelers have it locked up, yeah. Well,
That
the
is
Ravens
true.
could win it.
No,
Right?
nobody
No,
can win
they're
except the
7 and
Steelers.
8-5.
They could
The
both- they
the
could both
Steelers
be-
have clinched the
yeah.
division. I'm pretty sure. I'm
But
pretty
the
sure.
Giants could win the division.
The
And
Giants. That's what I'm
the main
saying. Yeah.
point that
They
Andrew's
could
trying to
just
say.
see-
Off a disappointing loss. Yeah.
Right.
But the Browns had a disappointing loss. I
True.
like the Browns. I love Baker. I couldn't give you a score on this one, but Sunday Night Football, they were just on national TV and lost. They're gonna be like, all right, we're here. We're still here.
Do you have a prediction?
Browns by let's go 16 points.
Jeez.
You heard it
Big
first.
time
16
win.
points.
16 points.
16-0.
16-0. Chubb. I mean, I'm honestly so jealous of the Chubb and Kareem Hunt running back combo.
Yeah.
It's so good, man. Like how they got Kareem Hunt. I know he hit a girl, but
Kicked the girl.
kicked a girl.
It's
That
not
Which
gonna
is
be,
not funny.
no.
not funny.
It's not going to be that way next
But-
year. He will
but
not be a
that running-
Brown.
You don't think he's saying?
2,000-yard running backs.
Dude, they're so good together.
There's
it's
no way.
It's the beautiful because Chubb is. They're
They
both
complement
mean.
each other.
They both mean. They both have the same kind of style of just downhill, smack you in the face.
But they complement each other
They
because
complement.
Chubb has different assets. He can break off for a 60-yard touchdown.
or goal
Where
line right
Hunt
there.
is going to wear that defense down. So
7 yards, 6 yards,
yeah,
smack you in
yeah,
the face.
yeah, they complement each other for sure.
I love those running back combos.
So to build
I
off
love
that, I just think that the Browns, I think in the public's eye, they're for real after a loss like that on national TV against the Ravens. But I don't think that the Browns are satisfied. I really don't. I think there's a lot of strong characters in that Browns locker room, and I think the Browns come back here and make a statement win against the Giants. Yes, I think the Giants are an improving football team, but I think that where the Browns' trajectory is, especially heading into the playoffs, everyone wants to head into the playoffs. Okay, maybe it wasn't a big a deal 10 plus years ago, but as of lately, you find the teams that are hot before the end of the year make those runs. And for an outside team looking in, and when I say team looking in, we're talking about the Browns football team who hasn't made the playoffs since 2002. Okay, this is a big freaking deal to them.
Yep.
If it's a big deal to the city, God forbid, it's a
Did
big
you see how many-
freaking deal to the
Did you see how many
players.
fans they had?
Yes.
A lot.
They're like
Yeah.
packed on top of each other.
and they had a
was like a
limit.
real
They
crowd.
had a limit,
I
but it
couldn't believe
sounded when you were watching the TV, it sounded like it was packed.
Sounded
Okay.
like a normal game.
So
Awesome.
for Cleveland, who's huge on their sporting teams, this is a massive game. Okay, like you can either take a double loss in a row and take a step back, and okay, this is the Browns, or hey, let's answer back. Okay,
Yep.
maybe if they were coming off a big win, you could say maybe the Giants, they shock a couple people, and that's what you'll find for me is I'm looking at the week before as well. Okay, they lost a close game against against the Ravens. Okay, they lost a close game against the Ravens. Okay, interdivision. Okay, you showed a lot of promise, but you're going to work that hard to lose against the Giants the next week? Absolutely not. I give Giants 0% chance, and maybe call me wrong, Andrew, but Browns are here and they're here to stay. I think that they have a great offensive coordinator now that balances the football, that knows what they have in the quarterback of Baker Mayfield and puts him in positions to win.
Yeah.
I'm picking the Browns.
I agree. I mean, I don't have. Yeah, it's going to be a really fun game to watch for sure. It's going to be great in the Meadowlands.
Hell yeah!
I like it a lot. And did you see
Under
that
lights.
the
Is
Indian?
Danny Dimes is back, right?
He's playing. He played last week.
Yeah, because it's like he's a gamer, so he's going to go out there and try to lead them to the playoffs. But did you see the Indians are no longer the Indians? That is official as of 2 days ago.
Not this. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
season, yeah.
I don't know if they'll have it all set and put for this season.
No, they're just going to be the Cleveland baseball team.
No.
They're
Yeah.
not the Indians.
I disagree.
Dude,
I
it's
heard
gone.
with them, they're going to
It's
play
gone.
one more.
It's gone.
No.
It is
For marketing and for money, they're going to keep the Indians for one more season.
as of Tuesday. It is.
No, I've been
all done.
listening to it.
Bro,
I'm just saying, maybe you call me wrong, but I'm telling you that marketing purposes, they said it's in play, that it will be changed. Will be. They
No,
don't have a set date on
it
it.
has
There's
changed.
too much money marketed You're looking at an Indians team who just 3 years ago played against the New York Yankees in the World Series. They're not changing their team unless they have a solidified name. I'm telling you right now that it's going to be an intermediate, but it's not going to be like the football team because baseball is behind all that bullshit. Okay,
they'll have a name.
They are going to play as the Indians next year.
No,
it's going to be the Indians. I'm telling you. And they're going to keep everyone satisfied, all the PC, all the SJWs. They're going to keep them satisfied for one more year, and then they're going to change it. I think it's absolutely ludicrous and bullshit because were people not PC enough 3 years ago when they were in the World Series or last year when they're in the playoffs? My opinion, absolute bullshit. Indians, they've been a historic franchise for multiple years, okay? Redskins, maybe I could see that because it's talking about their actual skin. But Indians, come on, give me a break. If they change it, there goes Florida State Seminoles. Bye.
No.
There goes Atlanta Braves. Bye.
No.
Bye. It's just a matter of time. There goes Kansas City Chiefs. Bye. It's stupid. It's irrational. It's irresponsible. It's going to hurt their money. And people don't give a shit. You don't see a mound of Native American people standing outside of games protesting. When I see that, I'll be on board. But until then, this is all hogwash. It's all mass media. It's bullshit. And their Indians have too much money. They're not going to change their name. We're not talking about the Washington Redskins, some little franchise. We're talking about the Cleveland Indians, okay?
Right.
They're a big franchise. They've been in the game. Call me wrong. We'll see next year. But in my opinion, they're going to make as much money as they can before they change that name.
Sure. So before they were the Indians, they were the Cleveland Spiders, which brings about some possible cool ideas.
Yeah.
So that's actually something that we could see.
Stupid ideas, not really cool.
Yeah. So just wanted to segue to that, but it's going to be interesting to see. Last game of the week, Monday night, Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals. Pittsburgh's favored by 12.5. I believe Brandon Allen will continue to be the starter. But no, thanks for that take though. Hey, it's all good, dude. It's all love. But
it's just opinions, So we'll see what it is next week. But
and as far as me, as a designer, yeah. As far as me,
it's exciting for you.
It's exciting to see a new.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see something new, and it'll be cool. But I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a lot of history in it, so it's not as black and white. So that's where I'm coming from. So it's not like, Andrew designs our fantasy football helmets every single year. There is something very cool to be said about new designs, new logos, update, new name, Oilers. There wasn't anything bad about the Oilers, but they became the Texans or the Titans, these things do happen, whether it's for political reasons or not. So we'll see what it is next year. I just think that it's going to be the Indians still.
I think it will be for one more year, but I think the front runner as of now are the Spiders, which we could see some cool stuff.
I have heard that,
yeah. The Cleveland Spiders.
There's a college that's the Spiders.
Yeah, Richmond. Richmond.
Yeah, Richmond.
Spiders. Thinking college ball.
Yeah.
And also, before they were the Cardinal, before they were the Stanford Cardinal, they were the Stanford Indians. Way back when, too. So, interesting.
Wow. And I'm a Stanford. I didn't.
That's cool. Their original name. So, Pittsburgh at Cincinnati to wrap this up. Big Ben is kind of looking frazzled. Deontay Johnson leads the NFL with 13 drops. He was benched. Mike Tomlin had some funny quotes saying, you got to make these plays or you're going to get benched. It's kind of ridiculous for a guy that was considered the number one to now
rookie.
Be second year guy.
Or no?
Second year guy or third year guy, something like that. But yeah, it's just kind of ridiculous. The running game is atrocious right now. James Conner looked like crap. Benny Snell looked a lot better. They've been faltering. This could be a chance for the Bengals to pull one off. Like you said, the Bengals are not going to go down without a fight. Joe Burrow's still in that locker room. He's still pulling hard for those guys, but there's too many injuries with Joe Mixon. There's too many question marks, and it's the track record is just really bad against the Steelers. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
For coming off.
Yeah, 2 losses. I mean, Pittsburgh's not losing this game.
No.
There's no way.
I didn't even write a prediction down just because I know, Ryan, you chose the Bengals last week. Do you want to do it again?
I did. I was wrong on that. Nah.
Over Steelers Monday night?
No. Like, I just thought that, 2 bad teams coming along, and I thought that Bengals had enough firepower. I was wrong on that one, and I won't be wrong again on the Bengals. Pittsburgh wins this convincingly. Not enough for me to put my money on the spread. 12.5 points is quite a bit, but I could see them winning by 10 points or so. Ben Roethlisberger, he's a veteran in this league. He's been there. He knows how critical these games are before the playoffs.
2 bad games straight.
2 bad games in a row. You already have bad columns being printed against your team saying that they're fakers. They're going to come out, and what a better team to prove it against than the Bengals.
Yeah. I've had this issue in fantasy where I'm looking at Matt Ryan versus Big Ben. I'm just like, they're both kind of wild cards, but Big Ben is playing the Bengals. Matt Ryan is who's Matt Ryan got again? I don't know. It's a tougher defense. I honestly, I don't know why I'm bringing fantasy. Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'd pick Ben.
Big Ben bounce back game.
Yeah.
He's coming back with it. Steelers, I wouldn't touch the line. 7-6, just because it's the old AFC North.
It's 12.5 point spread.
They always battle.
There's always those stupid garbage.
It could be. It's probably cold Monday night. Could be snow.
Yeah.
James Conner better bounce back. You need to see that. He was on COVID.
Yeah.
You can slow a guy down.
It's a weird year.
Can slow a guy down. Yeah. He's back. He got his.
You heard it first. James Conner's back.
He's back.
I think the key to any
Steelers
game
win.
against.
I can't give this.
I agree. I'm picking them too. I think the key to any Steelers victory is how long can Big Ben hold the ball. When you make him throw the ball quickly, they don't play well. When he has all day to throw, they play really well. And Juju Smith-Schuster, DeAndre Washington, even Deontay Johnson, and Chase Claypool, seems like they throw the ball a heck of a lot. I don't know the numbers on it. Just watching them, they line up in spread offenses quite a bit. You rarely see, even on like a first, second down, they're throwing the ball quite a bit. So I would think this is going to be the same way. And Mike Tomlin, I love his quotes, especially when Le'Veon Bell held out. He said, "We want." What did he say? We want volunteers, not hostages. So I think that mentality with Deontay Johnson, he's all in. Yeah, he drops the ball, but it was a slippery game. It might be a slippery game this time, but I got the Steelers pulling it out 24-10, I'll say. The Bengals are just so beat up, and it just sucks because they might not have Burrow till like November next year.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I didn't like that. I like
week 6 or week 7, yeah. But this is a guy that you do not want to rush back, whether it be week 6, week 7, week 8, you do what you can, but you protect your franchise, and Burrow is clearly that franchise.
Good play. They got some receivers.
Yeah, and fucking hold Mixon out for that long too. Like, just make sure that you're all healthy, because that division. I don't know if there's a fighting chance in that division, but make sure that you're good with your future guys for sure.
You got a long road ahead.
Yeah.
So that's it, guys. That was fun. What any other exciting things going on?
What are we on, week 15?
Yeah,
week 15.
Week 15, it's a must-win for your boy to advance to my first.
Nothing more exciting than having a birthday.
Having a what?
A birthday during COVID.
I know, right?
We can go stand outside and have a drink. It's like 32 degrees out. It sounds nice,
Yeah.
but
Have it freeze over.
yeah, pretty much, man. It's been tough.
Yeah.
I'm ready to bounce back, though. At least we got football. At least they somehow figured it out enough. I mean, with all the sports leagues, like that's what's kept me like going, man. Honestly, is just having games at night. The bubble is fun. Honestly, the bubble like renewed my NBA spirit a little bit. It really did.
Yeah, and
kind of lost hope.
The Greek Freak is going to be a Buck for a long time, it seems like now, which is kind of cool. He's got shown some loyalty.
Yeah, good for Milwaukee, huh? Good for Milwaukee.
And
I still don't see him winning championship Greek Freak, but good for you.
That's 10 days away, opening night. So the NBA is right around the corner. NHL January 1st, I believe. New Year's Day for the NHL. A lot of cool stuff going on with that. Baseball
hopefully
around the corner.
Back. Yeah.
Hopefully what?
Baseball.
I think once they get
some fans back.
Yeah, I think once they get this vaccine figured out, they'll be a little more lax with it. But right now, you can't just have a bunch of young people running around exposing older people.
Yeah.
The main hit really on a bigger scale is really the food and beverage industry, the dining service, them being locked out. It's like, if you're pre-exposed to it, if you have preconditions and, and you're highly susceptible to that being, for COVID being a serious issue, stay home, but the people in this country need to earn a living, and I don't care if you're on the left or on the right. It's like no one wants to be dependent on the government, and it's sad because some of these bigger restaurants can maybe hold off for this period, but a lot of the growing ones, they have to lay off everybody, and maybe that means them not having a business anymore and them taking another job. So it's a sad time in this country, and I think that this podcast is great because when you can focus on sports, something that really unites people, I think that's always a good thing. And hopefully 2021, after this vaccine comes out, issue out the vaccine, maybe not to everyone, but for senior centers and people that actually need it so that they can feel comfortable for everyone else to at least open up and start opening up businesses again. I think that could be a good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So
I'm ready for this to be over.
I know.
But good thing we got our football. Niners didn't do anything for us this year.
And especially with the Black Lives Matter and stuff, like at the end of the day, like sports brings everyone together. There is no color with sports, it's best person plays that position, and same thing on the fan thing. It doesn't matter what color you are, everyone enjoys sports, and it's something that unites us, not separates us. So I think in general, sports, no matter what obstacle is in place, sports should always continue to be a thing because it's something that in times of struggle and times of separation can always bring people together because everyone loves sports, male, female, black, white, brown, whatever color. It's like, that's the most important thing is unity at this point. So it's always a pleasure being with you on this podcast, Andrew. There's always a bigger message, but let's have fun with it and let's keep being friends and just, let's hopefully reach out to more people and make a difference with this thing,
Amen. I love to hear it. Before we wrap up, me and Ryan talked about it last week. So we have to finish out with you went on a date last week. That's why you couldn't be on the podcast. So me and Ryan said let's have Kegan give us a recap on the next pod.
And this is a COVID Bumble date. So this is not usual.
This is not indoor dining is allowed. So I went on Bumble date. She was a little older than I mostly talked to on the Bumble dates. She was 3-4 years older.
34.
She was 34 at the time. I just turned my birthday, so now she's 3 years older. In a way, felt like I was talking to my older sister, which is different. From Northern Kentucky, and I didn't know that they have their own accent. So there's a couple words. I was like, "What did you just say?" But I was freezing my ass off.
What'd you do?
Arizona,
What is there to do?
We went down to Irish Rover and sat on the patio.
So Irish Rover still had the outdoor
seating. So the jacket on. It was okay, man. I mean, nothing hit off. I kind of let that.
No sparks.
No text back. Not like cold in a way, but like she probably gets the idea too.
So you ghosted her, not the other way around.
I did ghost her, I guess. Ouch. Yeah. See you next time, Bumble. I'm honestly like, all right, there's nothing to do. Like, I'm like, I'll just take Christmas off here, stay on the podcast, stay with you boys.
Yeah.
Birthday, kind of whatever, not much you can do, man.
We're still having a good time.
Still having a good time.
But yeah, some are going to be hit, some are going to be missed. But I think the main thing is just taking your swing, whether it be a COVID year or not. Like, COVID doesn't mean you have to put everything at halt, especially a love life, You
still grow from it.
Yeah.
So combo. Shout out to the Bumble girl.
We won't say you're great.
She'll find it.
I know, right? That's awesome.
I never know.
Thanks for sharing, man. Yeah, hell yeah. Keep going. Happy birthday.
Something next year is a little bit more exciting.
We're all looking forward to 2020.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Especially Niners fans.
2021.
That's right. Frank Gore.
Will he retire this year? That is the question, and we'll never say no.
He'll always surprise us.
You know what's cool is Josh Allen grew up a 49ers fan. He was teammates with Frank Gore last year, and he was like, "Yo, I watched you growing up. I had your jersey." Frank Gore pulled out his game-worn Niners jersey, signed it, and gave it to Josh Allen.
That's awesome.
What
Frank's
a cool
such
story.
a good guy, man.
Yeah.
And the best part is during the Super Bowl last year, he was calling the Niners our team.
Yeah.
He hasn't been part of us for like 3-4 years now.
That's the thing.
He's still a Niner.
You see players leave organizations and they'll talk shit. Jamal Adams. It's countless players that leave organizations. They say I wasn't in a good place. Right. That's one thing that kind of gives me hope is that people that leave our team or even are about to leave our team are like, I don't want to leave the Niners. I've had a great experience. And when you have that tight bond like that, especially when you have everyone healthy, that's why us fans keep hope, because we've seen bad years and we've seen bad teams and we've seen bad organizations, but we have good direction. We have good coaching. We have good GM. If we stay healthy and find the right guy, sky's the limit. I'm ready to be back in the Super Bowl next year, man.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready to fast forward to spring.
Yeah, me and Trevor were at a bar last year.
That's right.
We ran into a guy.
Always good doing this with you.
Yeah. Thanks for having us on, Andrew.
Yeah, just a real quick Frank Gore story. Me and Trevor ran into a guy who used to know Frank Gore personally, and he's from the Bay. And I talked to him about Frank because I was wearing this jersey. And he's like, yo, I used to hang out with Frank after every game. He could have 25 carries for 180 yards. You won't get more than 2 words out of the guy. He said he'd be like the guy at the club after the game, alone in the corner, not saying a word. Like Frank Gore has been the same Frank Gore forever. He doesn't talk a lot. He's a quiet guy. He keeps to himself. From what I hear, he's a great guy. So if he, when he goes out and he goes to Canton, Ohio, he's going to have a Niners emblem on his little
nobody
sculpture.
Yeah. They say we're going to sign him for a one-day deal so he can retire as a Niner.
He's first ballot. Yep. He's all time. Yep. He's our leading rusher.
He's and third
all time. Yeah.
Can't take that away from him.
17 years?
Yeah.
Yeah,
17
crazy.
years.
So. As a running back. They keep showing his highlights of his kid in college, killing it.
He looks just like him, too.
Their kid's in college, dude. Yeah, just like him.
Wow.
It's crazy.
And he's good for the NFL in a little bit, so you might have a Gore and a Gore Jr. You never know.
That's awesome. I love it.
That might be the first time that you've seen a father and son play in the NFL for the first time.
In the NBA,
but not in the NFL.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Well, we will end it on that note. Thanks so much, guys. This was super fun. We had a couple lag problems here and there, but it's all good. People listen to this in their car, stream it on your phone. Give us some love on YouTube. Get in the comments. Subscribe. I know the cliche thing is smash that like button. So pull out your hammer and start smashing it.
Man.
Great times. We'll get you guys back on next week. Anything else you want to say to end the show?
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Happy birthday.
That's it. And Andrew, thanks for starting this podcast. It's only gonna grow from here.
Hell yeah.
DKP all day.
Check you guys next week.
All right.